We went into the second attempt and did we win a single game? No. The slump started then. Yo, Kamanga this, Kamanga that, Kamanga. We from the time we hit a slump, we have not recovered.
You know, this is quite
it's sad.
Oxymoronic, should I say?
Yeah.
Precisely. I like that word.
In why I say it's oxymoronic is the Zambia has been booted out of the AFCON, but many people seem to have a great hope, even from the messages which I read earlier. People
going like I said, going
this
forward.
booting out has actually left many people positive.
The Flava FM Football Show. 90 minutes of nothing but football.
Flava FM, Kopala's most loved radio station. Good evening to you, and welcome to the Flava FM Football Show, as we have it every Wednesday at this time from 18:45 hours, which is a show which is 90 minutes plus extra time of nothing but Ebola. My name is Pies Mambo Jr. I'm your host, as always, as we talk football, let me begin to introduce my panel in the studio, men who you also sometimes call the wise men. Good evening, Mr. Kufa Chipeta, and how are you?
Good evening, Pius. I'm okay. Good to be back on the show.
Yes, yes, good to have you back on the show. I know this will be your last show for some time, before you head back, and you'll be correspondence, unless we a faraway correspondent, unless we get you on Zoom.
Yeah, certainly. If Zoom platform can be availed, then I can always take that.
Yeah, no problem. No, we are the way technology is. Since we are going on TV, you are going to see it soon. Yeah.
You see, I'm humble the way I've started. Please keep me as humble as I want to hit up.
You don't want to hit up.
No.
But unfortunately, the thing with football is you are caused to hit up. And because now even the older man is here. So today, Chesha, older man, how are you today?
Pius, I'm fine. I just want to greet our dear viewers and listeners.
Yes.
Someone is pretending to be humble in the studio.
Just
get ready. Just get ready.
Yes. And also in the studio today, a veteran analyst. He was one of the gentleman who was there on the first football show we ever had at Flava FM, Mr. Patrick Charlie. Good evening, Mr. Charlie.
Thank you so much, Paz, for having me. I'm permanently blessed.
Yes.
Nice that we have a lot of football to talk about, both local and international.
Yes, wonderful. And good, and thank you for making time for coming in, gentlemen. I know it's not easy every Wednesday or every Wednesday when you are required to come in and in place of other programs. And in fact, now that football is even being played, Africa Cup is being played. You are even coming when football matches are being played. Like my friend Danny, I know he's busy watching football. He can't miss. That's how much we love football. Okay, thank you for coming in. And as we are getting messages in, just sorting out some of the messages coming in. I think Alderman, tell us about some of the lower amateur league results which you might have on your table.
Yeah, it's important to promote youth football. You know, our national team is not doing well. One of the reasons is that we have neglected the youth football. So there should be deliberate plans to encourage youth football. So I have results for Kitwe District Youth Football Association, Wiki 6. And there were two zones. The East Zone, Riverside nil, Ipsukiro nil. Ajax Chims 4, Happy Stars nil. Chiwote Superstars 1, PSA nil. Chibuluma nil, Chibuluma 3, Riu Kamatipa nil. Mindolo Youth 1, Afri Eagles 2. Those were the results for the East Zone. Now West Zone, MC Academy 1, Afro Stars nil. Kingsfield 1, Royal Tigers nil. Zamtan Rovers 1, Sate 1. This
That's
is a famous
Sate
Academy.
Academy.
Yeah,
Okay.
been doing well. Rio Luangwa nil, Flash United 1, Diamond 2, Kakolo 1, Skills 1, Intrigad nil. So these are the results. The tables, because we have so much to talk about today, we shall give them next week. Thank you, Papas.
Thank you so much, Alderman Tembo. Let me just go through some of the messages which we have before we tackle more results. This one says that condition Vazesco United ex-Corpo Seneco Amano. We tried with inconsistent, I think it's inconsistent kind of playing. You have to act quickly and find the solution to our. That's where it ends. I'm sure he's talking about the situation which is going on with Zesco. Yes. Okay, this message is not for a football show. Let's see this one. Ted looking at Sikazwe's caliber. Please, Mr. P Money and the entourage, say something about this. They're talking about Janice Sikazwe. This is from Kelvin, aka Mr. 600 OG Dynamo FC for life. Aba Yellow. This one says, good evening. I'm disappointed. Zambian, the way Faz and I think he's talking. I don't know whether it's the Zambia Athletic Association ZA are being run for 3 consecutive tournaments. Our national team, under 17, under 20, under 23, and the senior are failing to qualify to major tournaments. And yet, Mr. Somebody is very proud, and Mr. Somebody at ZA wants to go for a continental post. You are not ashamed. Let people who know. I think that's where it
But
ends.
is that a football matter?
He's talking. I think he's taking in general in sports. He's calling out
Come
football.
on, but
and
here we
also-
discuss football. We have never discussed athletics.
This one says Impia. He used to throw pan. No, I think this is not.
That's not for us.
That's not for us.
politicians.
Yeah.
That's not for us.
That's
That's
it
not.
for politicians. It's my case.
I think I even got an idea what it's talking about. Football experts, please, in detail, why African players shine in Europe but are failing to shine in Africa? Okay, the gentleman will answer that. Good evening, panel. Please, management, we are going nowhere with Momamba. He's a destroyer and he has no system. The team is too big for him. Please. This one says performances they are exhibiting in their games. Again, if you look at the defeats, they are coming from it's 1 goal difference. I'm not sure. The message is cut again. I think. Okay, let me go to WhatsApp. Remember, text line is 0965 I think some messages, not all messages have come in, and I'm still waiting for more messages to come in. 0965 that is our text message or WhatsApp. This WhatsApp says, hello, good evening, panel. Mr. Alderman Patrick, please confirm for me which team Young Power Dynamos will face. And please, Zesco United will kill us with the way they are playing. Our sure something must happen. Tuachula. This is Joe Linton from Chambori, not Newcastle. Zesco United diehard fan. This one says, what happened to Ref Sikazwe? This one says, good evening, panel. We continue to appreciate the good work that you are doing, updating us. Please advise on latest local transfer news and when is the APSA Cup dates and venues. Evening, Vapias and the panel there. Kindly update me. Where is Julius Stumboko? And I want a Power Dynamos jersey from you, Vapias and Alderman Eric Weza Jr. in Nkana East. Then this one just says, hello guys. Thank you so much. Remember, you can feel free to text on 0965 000-877 in order to get in touch. More messages have come in. Evening, gents. Okay, this one is a long one, but Pius, in my opinion, this AFCON is so tough. And looking at the games and how they are being played in the first round, I am sure the Arab teams like Egypt, Tunisia, and the defending champions Algeria will be eliminated even before the quarterfinals if they are not careful with the poor performances they exhibited in the first games. Again, if you look at the defeats that are coming through, it's 1 goal difference. So it's so very tough a tournament indeed. Then I'm also congratulating my red teams, Nkana and Liverpool. I thought you would say Manchester United for their victories over the weekend. This is Genius Elias from Riverside. Thank you for Genius Elias. This one says, was it Genesis or let me just get your name correct. Yeah, Genius Alliance, not Genesis. Okay. Chaos for the game Jumulo versus Musa, in which 3 red cards, fighting match officials with Jumulo. Okay.
We'll talk about that game. We covered that game.
Yeah.
We're on pitch side. So there's lots that we are going to talk about on that game, especially.
Hi, panel. Is Tony Kazembe still at Power Dynamos by Mishek from Kawama? Then this one says Chelsea won 2-0 in the Carabao Cup. What of Tottenham wins? What if Tottenham wins 3-1? Who is going to be out of the competition? I'm Chulufia Tsanga, the Blues family, Pa St. Anthony. This one says, welcome Brian Wheeler to the Yellow family. Aba Busaka, Aba Luelela, Aba Bola, to the powerful Power Dynamos. Congratulations to the Exco for giving us what we have been crying for. You have come to the right team, the only team, as I begin to read, the two have won the international trophy. Don't argue, Mr. Oderman. You know what I'm talking about. No need. Sorry, now we need number 6 to help Lions Malaza Jr. Linos, you know, yeah, but okay. Let me, the way it's Linos Malazan Jr. It's supposed to be Makwaza. Green Eagles, we are coming for you. This time, not yet no Kwangala this season. We need owners. We are the only ones who know how to win international trophies from one gift known as Aba Yellow, Aba Loera, Aba Bola, Aba Busaka, Kawama Kitwe. Thank you for one gift. Soccer gurus in the building. I think Cameroon is using juju on other teams. There is no way that big teams and football stars are playing like MTN Super League relegation teams. Okay. This one just says, hello. Commentator Siwale, Power 90, supporter based in Chingola, Kasompe. Thank you, my commentator. Vatembo, Twebediko, I'm a new players. Aba Isaku Power so far. Excuse me there. Okay, now as we continue. Good evening, panelists. Update us on transfers in our league, Yapazed. This is Domore Nkana fan. Okay, more messages. Good evening, panel. First, I need to thank Mr. Skarswe. Secondly, I just want to know how many players did Zanaco bring in? Man City 3 and Chelsea 0. Fanuel Manda Vashichimwemwe Pakawama, Man City and Zanaco for life. Thank you so much and God bless you all. Then this one says, my name is Bernard De Kasongo from Muflera. I just want to say, may God bless you all there. You always give us football updates, what it looks like. These teams in Zambia, they are waiting for others to come up at their stage and for them running. Please send me the number for Vatembo Mighty for Life. Okay, somebody wants your number, Vatembo.
Now we shall give him.
Okay, Sikazwe taught Tunisia a lesson. Ati Sikazwe taught Tunisia a lesson for what they did to us in the qualifiers. Yeah. This one is the message of the day. Football experts, please explain in detail why Africans. Okay, I think this one's. I think it also came in on WhatsApp. This one says, "Greetings to you and great men of football and the wise men. May you continue doing the great job you are doing. May the good Lord keep on blessing you guys. But always remember that abared evavako va DC Pawuza land Nkana and Arsenal forever. This one says Mbombo was right. Tell Janice Kazwe to go and check on the VAR whenever he makes a wrong decision against him. This is Kebi Tembo in Lusaka. Thank you for Kebi Tembo in Lusaka. Good evening, panelists. Congratulations to Power Dynamos for winning on Saturday. Point to note that to all teams, Power has already done the losing part. So the remaining games are winning bonus. Without Green Eagles, Power for life. Sorry, without. Watch out, Green Eagles. Power for life. This is Royd Soja Chilikima from Twatland in Kitwe. I'm sure that's Twatasha. Evening, Vapias and the wise men. Vapias, the issue of investing in stadiums is back again. Look at Edwin Mboila waterlogged pitch, yet the same correction service are managing a nice pitch at Kamfinsa. Why not consult them? Vapias, you agree with me. We are a footballing nation and AFCON winners, yet we can't boast of having facilities enough to host an AFCON, all because we fear pumping money into these stadiums. Otherwise, dodging the reins to retain our old calendar won't help. We must face it because we need to align to the FIFA calendar. Nash Kawuya Ndeke Changa Changa. In fact, gentlemen, I wanted to bring that up. Maybe we might as well talk about it early. We'll just go through it maybe for 3 minutes just before we go into further results. Good evening, Guapayas. Did you notice that the big teams at the AFCON have maintained 65% of their squads from the 2015 tournament? While for Zambia, the team which played at the 2015 AFCON is totally different from the current squad. For Algeria, the squad is aging and they need to refresh the team. What is happening with Zimbabwe issue? It will be sad if they are banned while they are at AFCON. Or is FIFA giving them time to Zimbabwe to sort out their issues? This is Ken Micah in Solwezi. Ottoman, get ready to answer that one. Mm-hmm. And last one here says, it has ended. Tunisia 0 and Mali and Sikazwe 1. Everything went well until Sikazwe decided to end the game in the 85th minute, but was told not to, that the players and the officials, and again the situation continued at exactly 89th minute. He stopped the game. This has left me and other soccer fans disappointed looking at Sikazwe's caliber. Please, Mr. P. Money and the entourage, say something about this. From Kelvin, aka Mr. 600, OG Dynamo FC, and Abba Yellow for life. Yeah, we shall definitely talk about this. Definitely, we shall touch it. Just maybe a touch one or two from WhatsApp. Hello, Joe Linton, back again. I just want to give an update. Lamek Banda, the former Zesco United, scored a brace to help his team Maccabi Petak to win 3-2 after extra time in the match they played yesterday. The last thing about Oderman, don't forget to tell which team Young Power will battle with. Then this one says, welcome. Okay, no, this is I've read this one from messages. Good evening, Vapias and the panel. Vatembo, Namwisa Namudia, Tuleche Shalelo, Mr. Kufa Chipeta is in the building. And Vatembo, what's wrong with your favorite referee, Janice Kazwe? That was embarrassing. Maybe he thought he was officiating Nkana versus Power Dynamos because he hates us, Wankana. I'm Peter Mwamba from Chamboli, Kitwe, but I'm listening from Chambeshi. Thank you, Peter. Alderman, if Zambia went to AFCON, the way the games are being played, do you think Zed could have been better than Zimbabwe? Is it true that Zimbabwe are sleeping in the corridor, if not in the stadium, for lack of funds? I doubt. Does
given enough money?
Does the coach for the national team get paid every month, or is it per game? Michael, mighty fan within Kitwe. Then I can't say much. Just disappointed with Sikazwe doing that at that level. Still can't believe. This is Wellington Kusorwezi. Yes, we'll talk about that as we go. Last one. Good evening, wise men. I would like to congratulate my team Power Dynamos for the well-played game against Konkola Blades. We switch our minds to Green Eagles, the Green Eagles game. Power Dynamos all the way. Boyd Chibulu from Wusakile. Those were messages from WhatsApp. I'll continue with text messages as we go. Matters arising, gentlemen. I like other man. There was one which was directed to you.
Yes, I did not look at the fixture for Young Power, but what I can do is to give that fixture to the one who has sent that text message after the program. You can contact me on 0966 781764. 0966 781764. I'll give him. I will have gotten the fixture.
Zimbabwe issue, gentlemen.
Yes, Zimbabwe issue. Like we said last week, we looked at the statutes, and it was very, very clear that if Zimbabwe was to be banned, the first thing FIFA was going to do was to look at the group where the banned team came from and pick the third team. And the third team happened to be Zambia. But unfortunately, or is it fortunately, to some is fortunately, to some is unfortunately, FIFA has not taken a stance yet against Zimbabwe, despite them not following the instruction that came from FIFA. They have still maintained the appointed executive. The elected one is still suspended. So we are waiting to see what will happen. We don't know if there has been correspondence between FIFA and Zimbabwe. That is theirs, but we have no room now. Zimbabwe is playing. We just have to look forward. After all, 23rd January, new draws. We should move on. I think this one is behind us. But I want to state it very, very clearly that FIFA will set a very terrible precedence if Zimbabwe goes away with it. We have been following. There are so many teams or countries that have been given deadlines who have dared FIFA and have been banned.
Remember, just ask what they told us.
Yes.
Over the Damiano issue.
The Republican president had to come in and sent presidential minister to convince the warring parties to remove the cases from court, just to make sure that you remember how the Sudanese teams were banned. I remember they were banned. One had already traveled to play Zanaco. So if they are going to play with to handle other teams with kid gloves, then they are setting a wrong precedence. People are watching. Others have been given deadlines. They have dared FIFA. They have been banned. But we don't know what has happened to Zimbabwe. That we have been following. No one can cheat us. the executive has not been restated.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so that's what is there. But I think for now, we shouldn't even be able to waste time on this. We should just move on.
Yeah.
We wish Zimbabwe good luck. They are from Kosafa region. They
are
lost the first
they're
game.
representing us.
Yeah, they lost the first game. Yeah, that's what I can say.
There was another issue on Zimbabwe on whether they're sleeping in the corridors.
No.
money was released.
That is being malicious.
I remember I saw a story. It was in December. Something like $3 million was released
That's
for
being malicious.
the team. So they
Zimbabwe
are very
are
fine.
adequate as far as
they are okay.
logistics are concerned.
I think that picture bias that I think was circulating on social media. You know, when you get to the airport, sometimes you find a carpet.
Yes.
In the airport chairs, you'd rather relax on the carpet, rest your head on the bag. There's no harm in doing that. So they were literally resting. If you saw, they were even on their phones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think people just misunderstood the whole thing, thinking Zimbabwe had no money going to the Africa. I think again that's where social media sometimes misleads people. So people should be careful so that they understand why somebody is behaving like that.
You're right. And to add on to what Wakufa is saying, airport formalities take long. You may be 2.5 hours by airport, you know, and then you have been subjected to a long flight. You may take a rest, but they will think, oh no, that one is broke.
Okay.
I wanted us to talk about the stadiums. I don't know.
That's what I want to talk about before we actually you wanted to add.
I think on the Zimbabwean issue, I think truth be told, the bigger picture is that Zimbabwe, they are in Cameroon. They played their first game, which they lost, and they are looking forward to their next game. Nothing of that sort, I think, has happened to Zimbabwe. They have got enough funds which were channeled out by CAF. They gave all the teams which qualified there. I think they are in a poor position. They have 2 games to go before teams can start to pack their bags and get home. For now, Zimbabwe, they are in there to compete and not what has been put on social media.
Yeah, definitely. Yes,
I want to kick it
in fact, I wanted to bring it up next before we just go through some of the results of games which have been played over the weekend. With regards to the stadium, maybe you can start, Alderman.
I'll be quick so that my colleagues can come in. Yes. I will speak passionately because I also talk as a referee. Look, we had to align to the FIFA calendar because of a number of reasons. One, our players used to be disadvantaged. They were participating in CAF competitions when the league was not active. So our players never used to be fit. And then 2, transfer windows. Our players also used to be affected. There are a number of reasons that I can give there. What FIFA asked us to follow is an international calendar. It's easy to organize friendly matches, you know. It's easy to organize friendly matches and play them on the FIFA calendar, and you accumulate points.
Yes.
And not only that, I think there's also the issue of when you follow the international calendar, other major leagues won't get affected the moment there are tournaments going on. For instance, if the World Cup is played in June to July, at that point, almost all the seasons are off.
Yes.
Meaning that teams will not suffer because right now, somebody may be arguing there, why is this AFCON being played now? This AFCON actually is a 2021 AFCON.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay? It was supposed to have been played last year in June. But that's the time we had the peak of COVID. So in order for us to avoid missing the AFCON before we go to the World Cup, they needed to squeeze in some time, and that's how we are playing it in January. Otherwise, the normal calendar is supposed to be played in June to July, when all the leagues are off. That makes it easy for the teams not to lose players. When they are really pushing for the league, some of them fighting for relegation. Like in the English Premier League, right now all the Africans that have come to represent their countries are not there. You talk about Liverpool, you talk about Chelsea, you talk about Watford, bottom of the basement, they have lost players and they're trying to survive. So those are the dynamics that our league was posing when we were playing from March to November. But now that thing is not there, and it's not affecting anyone.
So to say that we should go back to the old calendar, come on, then we are jokers. We have not been serious in as far as investment in infrastructure is concerned. And I'm happy there's someone who cited one ground.
In Boiler?
Yeah, no. He talked about the Kamfinsa.
Oh, the Kamfinsa one, yes.
I was involved. We started working on that ground, I think, 3 years ago with the former officer commanding. We put together local resources. There was nothing imported. That pitch, Pius, if you go there, you'll be impressed. That's why a team, when Butekon were preparing for Continental, Nkana, they were going to Kamfinsa. It is just the attitude. You see, the desire to get good results. It's local sand, fertilizer, and labor. Finished. But we are not serious. We just keep crying. No. And we are emotional. When the game is abandoned, that's when we take that picture, we go to social media. Let's work on the infrastructure. All that is required is drainage, proper drainage, work on the playing surface. And then slowly, as Ghana had start working on the shelter each year. In the next 3-4 years, you are done.
Yeah, it doesn't have
but
to
you
be
have
an
the
overnight.
whole of the police service. You can imagine you have the whole of the police service failing to maintain Edwin Imboela Stadium. Can they be excused for that? Certainly not.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that has been a stadium which has been there for ages and ages and ages.
Yes.
Just to add on, Pius, the issue of infrastructure, I think this one will start haunting most of the clubs now if they don't start bit by bit.
Yes.
Major works are supposed to be done year in. You do a certain portion, like Alderman has said. With time, they will get it right. One outside Arthur Davis Stadium with one of the best drainages that has been put there, where water can just seep through. Under 10 minutes, the surface is just dry because of the brilliant drainage which was done by Arthur Davis. And they need to get probably notes from or leaf from Arthur Davis on how it was done, so that a pitch like Edwin Imboila, a pitch like in Koloma, Woodland Stadium, they can start working on those infrastructure slowly. Resources are scarce, but if they begin to work on them, the calendar will not change. They will have to play. It has been tailored with the major European leagues. I think that's a FIFA calendar.
Yeah.
They need to start working on those pitches now, so that we have playable pitches. The Kamfinsa one, very, very good playing surface.
In 10 minutes, the water is
The water seeps through. Arthur Davis, the best in the country. Konkola Stadium, they need to start working on those now.
Yeah. I remember some of these pitches, especially when we had the other calendar, social football, we used to play at some of these. I remember even in Changa Stadium, in rainy season, it used to have patches that when it's rained, the water would sit there the whole game. You're playing, you're just avoiding a certain portion because when the ball goes there, the ball doesn't even just skims on top of that water. You know, everybody doesn't kick the ball to a certain portion. Same thing even in Nkana. I saw it at Nkana as well. It has those patches of water. So drainage, I think, needs to be worked on. Though I think Nkana is better than those days when we used to go there.
2 years ago, they tried to work on it. Although the southern goalposts still have water. But like Charlie said, let's work on the grounds. Let's have a routine in working on the ground. Not that we worked last year. No.
Yeah.
Let's have proper groundsmen to be looking after the pitches.
Let me ask this question as well. because it's also kind of related to AFCON. I know when we had the 16-team tournament, I was thinking about it today. When we had the 16-team tournament, I remember maybe it was 5 years ago, we were actually vying with the time when we bid for the under-17 and we ended up hosting it. We were vying to hold the AFCON tournament. Now it's a 24-team tournament, which probably needs 6 stadia. As at now, are we completely ruled out? Are we able to hold such a tournament, or we just say no, or maybe there is a way to get around it? Because I mean, looking at apart from Levi Mwanawasa and Heroes, unless you add Arthur Davis and Nkoloma, but which other two can you rely?
Arthur Davis at the moment will also not pass.
At the moment,
Capacity.
the capacity.
The capacity, and also that the wooden stance.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. This time around,
So we safely we can say short answer no.
No,
We can't.
certainly not.
But there's
Kufa.
something in the offing. There are stadiums that have been earmarked for.
Yeah, we are going to talk
rehabilitation.
about that.
Okay, I think the Livingston one, the Kasama one, the Chipata one. I don't know. I think even the Mansa one. These 4. Of course, it's
And in Northwestern, Independence.
The Independence Stadium. Of course, these 4, they are funded. Okay. 2 years ago, I did an interview, a TV interview, when the MOU was signed and everything. By mid last year, nothing had been done. No one was on site and everything. I think we tend to be slow in implementing these things. I don't know why the bottlenecks come in.
Anyway, there's development because our RVTA, something has happened.
Okay.
I don't know if we can
we've seen
break into
people
it now.
We've seen people go on site, but we want to see tangible works. And what's the plan? Because it's one thing, I can go on site, do site viewing and say I've started working. What is the plan? Can you show us what's there? For now, we want to see, is it on paper? What's the plan that's there? How is it going to look? How have you done your structuring and everything? And where are the funds coming from? And at what stage are they going to come? Those are the things I want to see. Not just people going to visit the stadium. For me, those are just rhetorics. If you are going to just visit, show me the tangible things that you want to do. Then I'll appreciate you. If they don't know, they can consult some of us.
Yeah, as you were raising that important question, I think I was shaking my head in trying to say that no. I think a country like Zambia cannot host the Nations Cup anymore. From 16 to 24, that's a tall order. And if you have seen stadiums that are being presented at the AFCON, we have the Olembe 60 capacity stadium where Cameroon is playing from. Yeah. I think we are very, very far away now. From 16 to 24, that would be a tall order. And co-hosting tournaments like this, I think that's not the best thing. I think going forward, let's like Kufa said, I think government has identified areas where they will start making up these major stadiums, which can be put there. But it will take a bit of time. But hosting such a tournament, I think we could have maybe... On the hotel front, I think we are capable. Front, but it's the infrastructure side.
Be careful.
Very, very far.
Be careful there. Mm-hmm. The hotel has to be a certain number of kilometers from where the venue is. The communication, the roads. They look at so many things. I have a dossier of what they look at. So that's why. But what? Okay, if I may ask that, put that question to you again, Alderman. In Lusaka, which hotel is very near Heroes? Yeah, of that standard. Almost all the hotels. You know why we failed last time? Remember when Mr. Chishimbakambwili was Minister of Sport? Yeah, he fought hard. He tried. But because himself. Yeah. I had a friend who was in that entourage who told me that only Lusaka as a city managed. In Ndola, they had no problems with the Levi Mwanawasa, but there was no hotel which came to the standard which
No, they have a hotel just a stone's throw away.
It's just now.
Yeah,
It's only now.
it's only now.
Nigeria national team lived.
But
Three
Makufa, you're
star.
talking of only
Three
one.
star.
Yeah, you're talking of only one. They need where at least 4 teams. You know, with this arrangement now, it will be maybe 8 teams being hosted there. So there are a number of things. We just need to work on our
So in other
infrastructure.
words, because so in other words, we're saying Kitwe cannot add to,
Nothing.
to
Yes,
to
because
to Ndola tournament.
You take
Ndola, I mean Kitwe,
Is too far
Kitwe.
because at
may
least
not.
Kitwe has a bit of infrastructure regarding to hotel.
Only one. Because the only hotel now we in Kitwe is the
Garden Court.
The Garden Court. That's all. You know, so
In terms
we
of
just
budgets,
need to we
3
just
star,
need
5
to
star.
So I mean, what about
Garden
what,
Court
okay?
also.
I think we need to just find out what the minimum is. What is the minimum?
That's
Is
what I'm
it 3
saying. I
star
have
or
it.
4
They
star or
look-
5
yes.
it
star?
should be 3.
It's
No,
3
3 is the minimum.
because
No,
if
no.
we talk of 3,
Yeah,
can
3.
Shebon
Why
Hotel
they-
qualify,
because
for example?
The Nigerian national team, when they came
I
to
think,
Tanzania,
and some of the lodges.
3-4 years ago, they stayed at Protea. Meaning that 3 is the minimum number of stars that is required for a team to be hosted there.
listen.
Yeah.
You may say 3 as a figure, but they come to inspect. Okay.
No, for
They
them
want
say
to be.
it's a 3-star,
They want to
then
be.
it meets all
They-
the
they-
3-star
they-
requirements.
they want to be satisfied. So they went to Livingstone, found good hotels, but no ground. Have you seen? That's the problem which we had. We couldn't even be considered. This time, I mean, this one which Cameroon got, the one we are playing now, Zambia had fought for it also.
But if
But-
if you know very well, this tournament should have gone to Ivory Coast, the 2021. Cameroon should have hosted the
The one which is
Yeah.
at Morocco.
yes, is it
Morocco.
Egypt or Morocco that hosted.
So we need to start. The first infrastructure is stadia. There's no doubt about that. Then you can look
These
at
others are peripherals.
exactly. Businessmen will follow where there's a stadium. They will go and put a hotel, isn't it? That's what happens to Protea. And then there will be a road. There will
Just
be
like
communication.
people that sell water at graveyards, they need to see vehicles come with a coffin. Then they'll
They
follow.
will follow.
So business will always follow
Everything
where-
just follow, you know. So put a stadium, the rest will follow.
Okay. All right. I think we can just go through some of the results of games which were played. I'll just talk quickly for Copperbelt. The Copperbelt teams that played from Division 2. I've got Division 2 results as Young Forest Rangers 1, Binal 2, Tagagan Snipers 1, Young Wanderers 1, Zamtan Celtic 1, Score Rangers 1, Quattro Kitwe 0, Zesco Red Phase 0, Chambeshi Youth 1, Police Blue Eagles 0. Then Muflira Police and Chifu Bullets was not played due to rains. Chilabombe Sundowns 3, Msenshi Blue Stars 0, Kalulush Zebras 0, Chimwemo Chiefs 0, Impala 1 and Ingwe 0. So as far as top 4 is looking in Division 2, we have Quattro Kitwe number 4 on 26 points, Tagagan Snipers number 3, 28 points, Chifu Bullets 2, 28 points, and top of Division 2 is Police Blue Stars. It will be interesting to see if they can find their way into Division 1. Then the league leaders in Division 1, Copperbelt, they continued doing their thing. Mutondo Stars 2, Young Nchanga Rangers 0, Rainbow Rangers 0, Lubambe Community 0, Nailcath 2, Konkola Mine Police 1, Zambezi Portland 1, Kalushi Modern Stars 0, Ndola United 2, Muflira Blackpool 0, Young Nkana 0, Chingola Police Blue Stars 2, Ron United 0, Luansha United 0, Muflira United 2, Young Powered Animals 1, Chingola Leopards 1, and Copperbelt Buffaloes 0. Mutondo Stars lead Division 1 Copper Belt with 32 points. Kalushi Modern Stars are second with 28 points. Chingola Police Blue Stars third with 27 points, and separated on goal difference only by 2 goals with Ndola United at number 4 with 27 points. Also, I must mention number 5 also on 27 points. That is Rainbow Rangers.
Just a quick one on the same log standing pass. We have veteran teams in that league. We have clubs like Ron United. They have been wallowing in the lower ranks. Kalushi Modern Stars, Ndola United. They actually bring a lot of memories. But in particular, I'll talk about Ron United. This is a side which at one point housed a lot of Zambia national team players. Talk about the Joseph Maplangas, Zambani Silot. They have a new coach now in Kigan Siabene, who actually just moved from Jumulo. He's now the new coach for Ron United. I hope that with the technical changes, Ron United can begin to get up on the table. Otherwise, they are not sitting pretty. And it's not good to see a team of Ron's repute wallowing in that league for quite some time. Ndola United, equally, they are in Maningi trouble.
Yeah.
You know, the change in the technical team might not change much if the support is not there. And I think most of the times these teams have failed because of lack of support, financial and many other resources. So it's like, I've always given an example. You have a wound, the only thing you want to do is to change the bandage and not treat the wound. You are not healing, you are not going to heal that thing. So deal with the actual problem. Then as you come up, you'll be able to fix the other problems automatically. So I think it's the funding that has been so much of problems to some of these teams.
Yeah, it's sad. I remember growing up, Ron United, I think the time when we lived in Luasha, when I was still young, I think I watched every single home game of Ron United. And Ndola United, at the time when we were staying in Muflira, all I can remember is every time Ndola United would come, no matter how good the Muflira Wanderers are, somehow, somewhere, they always used to beat Muflira Wanderers at Chinde Stadium. I used to remember that, or at least the games which I watched. I've never seen Muflira Wanderers beat Ndola United at Chinde. And they would have the Melus, Kashimotos, and Kalusha Bwalia is there. But still, somehow, it would just be one of those funny games. I watched about 3 games they lost to Ndola United. Yeah.
But this is where we are saying there are people that played football at Ron.
Yes.
I like the way the Muflira Wanderers came up with their support. I think the Lusaka guys had their own supporters club where they were supporting the team when the team was actually having financial difficulties. Where are the people that lived in Rwanda? Are we saying there's no one who is financially capable of at least supporting the team because of their upbringing in Rwanda? I don't think so. So it's a question of mobilizing themselves, come up with a chapter or a charter and start supporting the team. I think Ron United needs them more than anyone else now.
I might as well give Division 3 results as well. I have them in before me. Ronald Ross United 2, Zax United 2, Muflira Eagles 0, Zesco Red Face 2, Chilubu Pirates 1, it's my eyes. That's an F, eh? Chifubu Pirates 1. That's what I was saying. What am I saying? Yes. Chifubu Pirates 1, Chilawombe United 1, Kasompe United 0, Score Rangers 1, McAnn 3, Dynamo Academy 0, Ganaton Athletics 2, Antelope Milling 3, Gurok Community 0, and Zamtan Celtics 2, Chambeshi Youth 3, and Young Kitwe United 1, Chiwempala Stars 1, and actually, no, this, okay, just cancel those results I've just given. They are not. I mixed something out. Let's go to unless Eden University. Unless we have any other business. So I was wondering there's something which I know how I got the wrong results on there. I don't have those were not
quick. Eden,
yes, you can go ahead.
Sure.
You can go ahead. Yes.
It was Mfira Wanderers 2, Luapula Green Eagles 0, Gomes 1, Trident 0, Napsa Stars 1, City of Lusaka 0, Lumwana Radiants 2, Young Green Buffaloes 2, Jumoro 0, Muza 1, Quattro Kalumbira 1, Kaisa 1, Changa Rangers 0, Livingston Pirates 0, Police College 0, Zesco Malite 1, Young Green Eagles versus Kito United postponed.
Before we analyze the results, this postponement, I'm hearing it's still contentious in that Kito United didn't give enough time. It did give enough notice for not traveling.
Well,
this is a game which should have taken place.
Yes.
The home team was there waiting for Kito United. I think there wasn't sufficient reasons for them to actually fail to get to their opponents. But this is a game which was supposed to be on.
Yes.
Now let me tell you what happened. In case
I know there was some players tested positive,
Yes.
but now I'm hearing the whole there was an issue with communication. Yes.
yeah,
Alderman.
I'm not trying to defend Kito United because maybe I'm associated with it, whatever. But the General Secretary for Kito United communicated with the FAS in very good time.
Okay.
Now, perhaps it was the information from FAS to the other
To
party.
the other team.
That's where the problem was.
Okay.
So, anyway, they will sort it out.
Yeah.
But you see,
There is
good
evidence.
communication, Elderman. If you are going to write to FAS, copy the other party.
No.
I mean,
You
that's
see-
how you do it.
No.
Copy the other party so that when the other
But
party is responding, they are in copy of what,
No.
what has been communicated.
But in football, it doesn't.
No,
you tell
they are
them.
making football look so.
Yeah, no, but in
so
football, listen.
unprofessional now.
What happens is Kitwe communicates to
To Faz.
FAS. When FAS are convinced, that's when they communicate to both parties.
This is-
To this party which brought the issue, say, okay, we have accepted. And then to the other party, they will tell them
But have you
the
heard-
game
have
has
you heard
been
my view?
the game
You
has been
copy-
postponed.
when I copy, I'm writing to him, I copy you. You do not respond to anything until he responds. And when
Alderman,
he responds, you are going to be in copy of the response.
this same game we are talking about, Young Green Eagles were lying in wait for Kitwe United. They were at the pitch, but maybe Faz did not inform Young Green Eagles in good time.
Yes.
But Kitwe United did communicate to
Yes.
Faz, like you are rightly putting it. I think it may be taken to the disciplinary committee.
To look
You
at
see,
the dates.
Yes.
Because
which
Kitwe
is-
has dates which they sent. And when you do that, you now expect the mother body to get back to you, whether to agree with you or not. You get a point? And there was nothing which came from
This
From FAS.
is now where I'm saying they should have copied the other party in so that they are all on the same page.
Young
Because
Green
for the other team to have started warming up, it means they had no idea whatsoever why Kito United was not showing up at the pitch.
But listen,
But
even if they had received that letter,
Anyway, we are used
and
to mediocrity at
anyway,
first.
even if they had
You
received
remember-
that letter from Kitwe and nothing from Faz, they should have been at the pitch. That's the standard. I mean, that's the rule. They should still have been at the pitch.
Kitwe United.
No, the
Young Green
Young
Eagles.
Green
Young
Eagles.
Green, they were
could
at
not-
the pitch.
Yes.
No,
Even if they had received a letter, a copy that Kitwe wrote to Faz, and nothing from Faz, they would have been still at the pitch. That's what happened.
This is where I'm saying the other team, Kito United, who had a problem. For me, administratively, they should have even called their friends. Guys, we have this problem, but we have written to FAS. We have this problem, we have written to FAS. I mean,
unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. The one who coordinates
that's why there's
football is the FA. Have you seen? It is the FA.
It's the same FA that confuses things. Today, Green Eagles are playing Division 1 because of the same FA. That's mediocrity. You don't encourage such things in management. Some of those people should not actually be working there because, look, what is so difficult with you communicating with the other party that there is a problem here. Somebody keeps quiet until the other team goes. Now, look, what are the implications to this team that prepared? This team put the team in camp, okay? This team probably organized the payments for the refs. This team traveled to wherever. This team fed the players. Then you just they should just suffer losses like that. I think we can avoid these costs. If they had communicated in good time, this team wouldn't have gone in camp. This team wouldn't have incurred the cost which they incurred. So there's a problem at first, and we should not.
They'll be refunded. If it's
Who even refunds them?
It's the funds.
So dog Green Eagles are playing in Division 1 where they compensated for even communicating in good time. They were not. So I think somebody out there is not doing their job, they're just drinking tea.
Okay, so let's talk about the football now. Mufulira Wanderers, they saw a good win against Wapula Green Eagles. Must win as they chase top 4. Vachali.
Yes, I think for the Wanderers faithfuls, it's nice that Wanderers have picked 2 straight wins on the trot. They were, before this game, they were wallowing in the relegation waters. Getting 2 straight wins, I think it's a morale booster for Wanderers. There are about 16 games to go. Harrison Tembo, the one at the helm of their campaign in the Eden University, I think, has to do much more. What more with the window still open? They need to look at the grey areas in their team. Wanderers, big side, they need to actually start gunning up points like they did, winning by 2-0.
Okay. Kufa, Gomes beating Trident. Again, Trident losing.
Yeah, Gomes, prior to this game, before they went on the break, they beat NAPSA. So they have just continued their winning streak. The only problem is with Trident. Trident is the team that is supposed to be up there. They started the league so well. At some point, I think they were second, if not top. And it was only a question of consistency in winning. But they drew 6-7 games. Then they start losing now. Obviously, you've got for such positions. But then, kudos to Gomes. They seem to have picked their winning streak. Hope they continue.
Okay, and Alderman, as we continue, NAPSA back on winning ways. But big win in the Lusaka Derby, beating City of Lusaka.
We call it Chirenje Derby.
Chirenje Derby.
Yeah. That one was crucial. It had 3 red cards. And it was not an easy derby. But thanks to NAPSA for getting that important win, because it meant that to go back on top, they'd been removed for, I think it was for 2 weeks, by Romana, but that win threw them back on top. It's a battle of the top 4, and it's a question of getting points. It doesn't matter how you get them, as long as you get 3 points and march on.
Yeah. Charlie, Nchanga Rangers 0, Livingston Pirates 0. Were you expecting this to go this way? I was expecting Nchanga to win this one.
I think we should give credit to Livingston Pirates having covered, I think, thousands of kilometers to get into Chingola and play Nchanga Rangers. Rangers changed. The coach brought in Tembo, but results are not changing for Nchanga Rangers. And this is a side which we expect now to challenge for the top 4. It's not happening for Rangers. Maybe they should look at their recruitment policy. Maybe they are believing too much in the inexperienced players. They need to bring in 1 or 2 players just to balance up their team. But for Rangers, it's not working out well.
I think they should even change the name from Brave. I mean, they are failing to go on top. Even when all things should be pointing them to the top, they are coward in Nchanga Rangers.
You can be brave, but still not to be on top.
Kufa, Lumwana Radiance, Young Green Eagles, Young Green Buffaloes, rather.
Lumwana Radiance.
2-2.
they got
they
the mid-season on top after posting very good results. You expect them to continue, but then they decide to drop points. But hey, that's what football is. If you are not going to be good enough, you are going to donate points for free, and this is what brings unnecessary competition. I expected Lumana Legends to beat Young Green Buffaloes, but maybe because Young Green Buffaloes knows the head coach for Lumana, they just had to play around it and they got it.
Ottoman 4, Kalumbila 1, Kaisa 1.
Well, that's a result which was expected, but Kaisa has to start posting good results now, otherwise they'll be threatened with the relegation. They have not been doing so well. They have a lot of experience. They played in the Super League and they're supposed to be getting maximum results playing with teams like Quattro Kalumbira. Draw for Kaisa is the same as dropping 2 points.
Yeah.
They are now, as we are talking, in the relegation zone.
Yeah. Next season they'll be going to play in Lavushimana.
And bypassing where Kufa stays, of course.
And Bachali,
Yeah.
Police College nil, Zesco Malaiti 1. Zesco Malaiti, if I'm not mistaken, this is 2 wins in a row.
Yes.
Yeah, but still wallowing in relegation.
Still wallowing in relegation waters, but
This is a side.
small revival.
Yeah, this is a side which has been skating on thin ice. I think last season they just escaped the chop by the last game of the season, and for now I think they have started getting important points. Police College also. This is one of the nurseries for the Zambia Police. They need to have. I think players that are not doing well from Nkwazi, let them help out Police College in trying to compete in this league. But for Malite Rangers, again, another satellite team for Zesco. Players that are not performing very well for Zesco United should be channeled to Malite Rangers to help them out and keep up their form. Otherwise, for Malite Rangers, this is a team which at one point housed players like Chris Gaza Tembo playing in their midfield. They have been operating like this for many, many years. They need to actually improve in terms of results.
Yeah. All right. Kufa, finally, you said you covered
the Jumulo Musa game.
Jumulo Musa.
I was on pitch side with Alderman.
Yes.
Yeah. We did the pre-match and everything. But going into this game, Jumulo had not lost their 5 previous matches. Okay?
Yes.
Now, I'm told, I was reliably told that this is a team that never broke camp during the festive period. They were in camp, they were in Rwanda somewhere, whether they were fishing or they were training, no one knows, because the kind of football that they put on that day was so archaic. I literally couldn't believe this is a team that has been in camp and together for some time. And then the major talking point is the indiscipline part of that team. I have never seen a team that is indisciplined from much of their officials, club officials. They had 2 guys. There was a lady and a gentleman, both wearing t-shirts written security. These guys could literally insult. Then you go to the coach. The coach insults. I mean, he's an insulter by default. George Kapem. Wherever he's been chased because of insulting. Then now they have a goalkeeper, so I don't know who's going to control who. The goalkeeper literally insults the referee and gets booked red card straight. That was after George Kapem also had gotten. so you don't know who's going to control who. But then going into the game, I thought Musa on balance of play were a better team. They tried to control the game. Of course, it was a very cagey encounter. There was no sparks. And as a football analyst, you sit, you are thinking, what am I going to say at halftime? You can't see even the structure of the team. You can't see the shape of the team. You can't see the technical and tactical part that you can talk about. This is a team that the big man, based on championship, came to watch. And I expected that, look, he can probably spot 1 or 2 players. But hey, Musa, they came with a game plan. Their game plan was to try and go, but then they were not so clinical in front. Of course, most of the times they lost the ball cheaply. Overall, it's a game that could not string 5 passes together. a team can't string 5 passes. The maximum is 3 breakdown, maximum 2 breakdown, sometimes 1 breakdown. Then you wonder what are the coaches even doing? Then Coach Masao Sotembo, he's the head coach for Musa. For me, he seemed to be more tired than the players himself because he talked too much. He was busy pouring water on his head. Almost the entire game he was talking. What does he do at training? Because, I mean, much of the talking should be done at training and not right at the... You are literally telling the player, Peloko, you know, it's like players are like remotes. It's like he's playing what do you call those... PlayStation. You literally control the movements and stuff like that. What are they doing in the training? Because that's where those things should be done. So, overall, it was a very boring match. Of course, Musa scored 3 minutes before the end of the match. Jumulo did not accept. They said the referee did not spot the offside, but when we checked in the replay, which now the supporters followed me, by the way, when I was starting my vehicle, supporters followed me. They thought I was from Faz because I was wearing a very nice suit. So they thought I was from Faz. No, Faz mule posa kwa man. I said, I'm not from Faz. So they talked so much, and I said no. But look, when I checked from the TV, I discovered that was not an offside action. They just did not play their offside trap rightly. But their supporters were convinced it was an offside. Referees had to be escorted in heavily armed security. Of course, they did have a good game overall. They killed the game. These referees, I think Alderman and his people, they need to sort their house in order. Otherwise, those referees...
They've got a lot of work to do.
And this is someone that has been defending these referees. On average, they're okay. Is that okay? Is that being okay? No, I think we can do better. The way the referees were officiating that game, it's like he didn't even know what to do. Most of the times he was off the scene and he was getting things really wrong. Of course, Elderman will say on average they were good. Of course, that's his usual way. But I think they were bad refereeing, bad football, everything. At the end of the day, I went home with a headache.
Elderman, can I give you a minute before we go to the Super League?
Well, yes, Kofas talked
Summed
about
it
it, but I just want to advise Jumulo Football Club that you see they need to know how to contain their emotions, because it's not always that decisions will be given in your favor. This is football. Even at the highest level, we have seen it. Even with the what is this? The technology.
Yeah.
There are decisions which have gone against some clubs. So I think going forward, more especially the coach, what was unfortunate was that after he was red carded, the coach even had the audacity to follow the referees in the dressing room, and he was just restrained. So I think going forward, let us handle football the way it should be. It's a game of emotions. It's a game of emotions. I'm not here to defend referees. Yes, mistakes were made in that game, but mistakes will be made in every game. That is a fact.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the advice I can give. Otherwise, Kufa talked about the way the game went.
Achani?
Yeah, in closing up the Eden League, 3 red cards, Napsa versus City of Lusaka. Ugly scenes were there. Players fighting, officials fighting. I think Faz should crack the whip.
Do they even have a whip, sir?
Let them do a post-mortem, Jumulo, Musa, Napsa, City of Lusaka. I think they should send a stern warning to these clubs that football is supposed to be won on the pitch. It shouldn't be a feast of fury.
But at the same time, just to add up, referees, if they are going to crack a whip to clubs, a whip should be cracked to the refs, the erring refs. We cannot continue to talk about bad refereeing and nothing is being done to them. I think that's where problems start. If referees can be disciplined, then clubs can equally be disciplined. Then Jumulo, they had their media person filming the whole game. Get back to the footage, see where it all went wrong before you complain or before you write. That's why there was a very beautiful lady photographing the whole game. So let them get back there.
All right, let's go to the Super League, gentlemen, and games played over the weekend. We had on Friday, Lusaka Dynamos 1, Green Buffaloes 1, Zanaco 2, Kansanshi Dynamos 1, Red Arrows 1, Zesco United 0, Power Dynamos 1, Konkola Blades 0, Nkwazi 0, Nkana 2. Then on Sunday we had Forest Rangers 0, Prison Leopards 0, Chambeshi 2, Kafue Celtic 1, Cabo Warriors 1, Indeni 1, and Buildcon 2, Green Eagles 0. That's the result that surprised me. But Charlie, maybe I'll start with there. How did Buildcon beat Green Eagles? I'm surprised.
I think it's a question of Green Eagles having come overconfident. They thought that they would have a walk in the park. But Buildcon, under Boyd Mulwanda's tutorage, they are churning out some very, very good football. Players have gone away. They have rebuilt the team. Brian Mueller, of course, with Power Dynamos. Many other players have gone away. But still, they are mounting a challenge. But for Green Eagles, I think overconfidence crept in their team. They were thinking they would just ride over Buildcon, but Buildcon offered a lot of resistance. And this result equally stunned me. It's a wake-up call for Agrech Young and company to say the league is still on. There are no easy games. But for Buildcon, well done, Boyd Mulwanda.
But just on that one, before we go to the next game,
Yeah.
I'm surprised, gentlemen, that you were you got surprised of that result.
surprised.
Because Buildcon beat Green Eagles 3 weeks before the other game. They beat Green Eagles at home. This was the second game Green Eagles were losing to Buildcon. And by the same margins, for that matter. Green Eagles lost at home 2-0. And then they lost away.
But not two games are the same, Alderman.
Yeah, but I mean, there's no way they could have underrated the team which beat them.
No.
You know, there was no way Green Eagles could have
Green Eagles were on the high. They have actually won 3 games on the trot.
Yeah, but
and for them to be checked,
yeah, but
going into
the team
that
they
game,
were facing had beaten them 2-0 at home.
they were checked
So there
by
was no
Buildcon.
way they could have underrated that team. Because they just repeated the same feat. 2-0.
That's how they lost. They underrated Buildcon.
Yeah. So
Why am I not agreeing with you on the underrating part? There was no way they could have underrated Buildcon, which beat them at home anyway, 2-0. At the back of their mind was the 2-0 bashing which they had received at home. So they wanted to revenge.
This is why I'm saying no two games are the same. You can lose to the same team twice, but maybe the third game, the tides may change. The game plan, Boyd Mulwanda had a different game plan for Green Eagles. He caught them into his trap.
Anyway, no one beats Green Eagles twice in a short time. Maybe he's the only one who knows how to do it.
but I'm surprised they beat them in a rescheduled.
Yes.
Yes.
It was a rescheduled game.
Okay. But anyway, Buildcon, they have got a small semblance of form by picking up a total of 9 points in their last 3 games. So, but it's just the trust which is there. Yeah, it's just not there for me. But I expected Green Eagles, who have had more form in the last.
Yeah.
If we consider the last 5-6 games,
And most
Green
especially
Eagles
that they had the chance to go
haven't
to the
even
top.
lost.
Yes.
They haven't been losing. At least West result has been a draw in the last 6-7 weeks. So that one surprised me a bit. Anyway, it's football and it happens. Kufa, Green Cabo Warriors under the new coach, not able to beat Indeni, ended 1-1.
Warriors has always surprised me the way they donate points. They behave like a charitable organization. This is a Warriors that not too long ago we are slightly up there, and we expected them to continue. But also it's a question of the quality of your squad. How is the quality of their squad? If you look at them, their players are average, and so it's very easy for them to drop points. But also the way they approach the game sometimes it's very wrong. Sometimes they tend to miss too much. Sometimes they tend to be so weak in defense that it's very easy to break their defense and to concede. And these are some of the things that they should have worked on when they were in the that break. But also in Deni, it's a very good team. They seem to have awakened from their slumber. Dabi Chilufya, whatever is done to the team, there is self-belief, there is that high morale, and when you win one game, there is that morale going in the next game.
And Davu is in form.
Exactly. So you discover that it's no longer going to be an easy walk in the park when you meet in Deni. And when you're going to play a team that is surviving relegation, be careful, you might drown with them.
Ottoman Chambeshi, they've won 3 out of their last 5.
Oh yes, Chambeshi, I think they are having belief now that they can survive the chop. What a force start by Kafue Celtic. They scored first, and one would have thought they were going to get maximum points, but Chambeshi had to come from behind, and last minute they got the winner. After they had equalized, but last minute they got the winner. That's how football is, very, very cruel. When you think it's all over and dusted, then, hey, a punch comes. That result pushed Kafue Celtic into relegation waters.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is a team which has some enterprising young stars. At some point, they were beating big boys in the first round, and we had a lot of hope.
Kafue Celtic started beautifully.
Yes, exactly. But it isn't the case now. I think the coach, the technical bench have to realize that the stage we have reached is for men and not boys. So he has to run around and get a few men to help them. Otherwise, the only direction will be national. In Division 1 it will be Eden University. It's cruel.
Yeah.
But this is what happens if you are only going to prepare to go to the Super League and do not have a plan of how you are going to sustain yourselves there. It's like most of these teams are just excited. Oh, we want to play Super League football. We belong there. What are you doing? What are you going to do when you get there? That's where so many teams fail it. That's why most of the teams that go up there, they come quickly down. Mm-hmm. They have no plan whatsoever to sustain them there. They'll win 2-3 games. They'll be up there. Before you know it, they are slumping down.
Yeah, just on Kafue Celtic pass, I think Lika 1 must open up more especially his administrative skills, because this opportunity which they have, it has to be sustained. But losing and getting down on the table, I think it will be a tall order. Lika 1 must open up and invite experienced administrators to help them salvage this status. Once they lose it, they'll get back to the Eden where it's rough and tight.
It's rough. There's no good football in the Eden. Imagine me, a football analyst can't take talking points because I can't give football.
Eden is something else.
You were overanalyzing.
I want to see good football. You understand? But then the telephone day, Manini Karape. The first half analysis.
Finish. That's what happened.
The only talking point they had was a penalty.
But Charlie, Kana, good win away to Nkwazi. That is a good win for Nkwazi's side this season, who has not been easy to beat.
Yeah, people have not realized that Beston Chambeshi has come up with a very, very strong side. They have young players full of energy, and they are competing. I like their defense kingpin, Mukombozi, wonderful player, and beating Nkwazi at home in the second half on a waterlogged pitch. I think we didn't see any football, like Kufa is saying. It was just a kick and run. It was just something else. Nkana played all the football in the first half. And Fongonga, captain of the side, brilliant first half. But credit must go to their coach, Beston Chambeshi. He has assembled a good-looking side, which can go all the way and win the league. Truth be told, I don't want Zesco United to win the league for obvious reasons. They disappointed the nation. being ejected in the first round.
Why did
I want other teams
that one was
to
such
try.
a disappointment.
It was a bitter pill for many fans to swallow. To lose to a team from Eswatini.
Yeah.
But in Ghana, they have the experience.
And what you're saying reinforces the same thing which me have been saying, that you see some of our local coaches, for example, for me, I've been watching like Beston for some time, and I even said it after when he had took the after the AFCON ejection, that you see, if you want a local coach at the national team, if you're going to get someone like Beston, give him time. Give him a good contract, give him time. You will see the results eventually come. Because if you've seen where he's gone, because I have to give him credit, this Nkana is not as good as the Nkana which won the league 3 years ago. No. It's a totally different team. And where he found it, fighting relegation, it's almost the same players.
Yes.
You see, so you have to.
On their way to
Yes,
Eden.
you have to. Yes, they had started enrolling for Eden University. So you have to give the coach credit. You know, even if they don't win the league, even just where he's brought them up to number 3 right now, it's something to talk about with the material which he has. Because if the Zambia national team coach today starts picking players, he probably. He'll probably start looking at the table, and then they'll look at Nkana. It means these players have been worked on, because nobody was counting them on the first day of the season when they lost to Nkwazi. Nobody counted them.
And they have one revelation in Oliver Lumbia, a midfielder. That boy, number 22, player from the youth ranks, playing attractive football.
But also I think
watch the space.
The credit also should go to the new executive. Yeah, they are putting in everything. You recall that Nkana is one of the few clubs that had no break or so. They were given enough resources to camp in Lusaka, just like Jomolo camped in Luansha. Nkana camped in Lusaka, and that has not happened for a long time. Ghana used to fail to even have a pre-season. Remember how they started there?
Yes,
no pre-season.
Yes, last year.
Last year, no
Yes,
pre-season.
no pre-season.
A big team, a continental team. But it seems administratively things have been sorted out. They had mid-break camp, and obviously it paid, looking at the zeal and the interest that the players had for the game.
Yeah. So, Power Dynamos 1, Concola Blades 0. Kufa?
Yeah, it was a good start for Power Dynamos after the break. Of course, they brought in Brian Mwina. I hope they are going to solidify the front line, which has been their problem, because they have had to use fringe strikers. At some point, Godfrey Ngwenya was being used as a second striker. But the biggest undoing for Concola was when they won promotion. They started fixing a team. How do you fix something that is not broken? They started with a coach. Brought to Chabi Chawala. Chabi Chawala came, messed up the team. Today they are where they are because of the decision the executive made. They should have let Mujembe take over the team and maybe just make a few adjustments. In the Premier League, not the way they treated him. That was very bad. They are paying the price. Of course, they have a number of players that are not functioning too well. For a team of Concola's stature, you expect them to give you good competition on any particular day. And sometimes they have these Congolese players, because they are near the board. It's easy to get those players and conscript them in the team. And those will give you a good run for your money.
Alderman, sorry.
Yeah. This is a game I watched the pass. Power Dynamos.
Charlie, can you be honest? I hear Power Dynamos. I didn't watch the game, but
I watched the game.
I hear Power Dynamos had the rough ride.
I watched it, and I'll tell you it was not easy.
Yeah,
that's what I was about to say.
I want to summarize it. Yeah, very quickly. I think Power scored in the opening 2 minutes of the game through Joshua Mutale.
Yeah.
The first half belonged to Power Dynamos. The second half belonged to Concola Blades, where Concola Blades ran rings in the midfield. Owen Tembo had a good day for Concola Blades, except that they had no cutting edge up front. But the first half belonged to Power, the second half to Concola Blades. Lawrence Mulenga put in a very good shift for Power Dynamos in between the sticks.
Yeah, Concola put in a very good shift. It was one of those, if they had a very good finisher, end of story. Alderman, one of the biggest complaints from the messages, the state of Zesco. They were beaten by Red Arrows 1-0.
Yeah,
or should we more give credit to Red Arrows?
Yeah. I watched the game. I think that the two teams were balanced. Zesco were punished for not having a cutting edge in the final third. I think this is becoming a problem for all the teams. Where are our strikers, Papias? We have no natural midfielders like the Willie Pires, the Shindes, Jansi Mulambos. There's nothing in our league. And also, we don't have the Mutalis and the Kelvin Mutalis, where somebody's in the box, we already started, you already count a goal. That's why we chasing the players from one team to the other. Get Brian Mwira, do this. We have stopped making frontliners. So Zesco created a number of chances, but of course they hit the crossbar. But when it came to
Bolan is a goal.
Their friends had 1-2 chances, they scored, and that's how they punished Zesco. Zesco are looking average.
No, not they are looking, they are average. As we talk.
Yeah, I think now I have to agree with Makufa.
Zesco
are not so scared. It's not the Zesco of Rwanda, where you could just wait for the whistle to go for you to say the result is over. I don't know. Maybe it's because their coach said he is rebuilding. 3 of their supporters.
Who rebuilds Zesco?
Imagine. That's what I was saying.
Zesco
should not start rebuilding. I said it last week. I received I received 3 calls today from our Flava family here who assigned me to go to Zesco. They are very concerned. Go and find out what's happening. Well, Numba is my friend. I'm yet to get there to find out what's happening. But the beauty about Zesco management is that they don't panic. They don't press panic button. By the time they say, Bwana, you go, then everyone
you've hanged you've made your own bed.
Yes. Then you have made your own bed. So maybe they are giving him benefit of doubt. Zesco are number 5 now. The league is just they didn't play badly against Red Arrows. Like I said, they created chances, but I think they are not defending so well.
I didn't watch it. Did Pedro play?
Yes, he was given 16 minutes. He touched the ball twice. Red Arrows were in no-nonsense mood because the pendulum had changed. It was Red Arrows.
I think they were listening to the show last week.
They must have been
where we lambasted them and said, be serious if you're going to be at the top.
I mean, how do you bring someone? He's given 16 minutes. He touches the ball twice as a striker. It's too early. I don't want to judge him. But I don't want to, I said it, this is not a player who Zesco should have gone for. Kufa has already said it. Zesco buys a player to do battle because they are a continental team. It's not a nursery.
I mean, this is a team pass that can charter a plane.
Yes.
You understand? It's a team that can charter a plane. There's no team here. In Zambia, which can charter a plane. Maybe the Red Arrows because
they've got planes. They have their own planes.
Those are theirs and probably their government. But this is a team that can charter a plane from South Africa. Okay? You see the support that is there. So, if Elderman is going to say Zesco played well, there was no system there, Elderman. I don't know what you are watching. Zesco did not play well. They did not play. The defense is shambolic. The midfield, there is no. strikers 0. I don't. There's no team. And then Numba Mamba is telling me we are building a team. Where is the team that won the league? Just last year, champions now. You won the league. What has happened to the team to start building another one? I mean that is close to madness. Come on. I mean, just I'm very annoyed for obvious reasons. The executive needs to be checked. If need be, the executive needs to go. You understand? Those guys are not doing anything. They are the ones that mess this whole thing. Look at players like Benakevin Kampamba. They've grown their wings such that he's not even playing football anymore. He's a shadow of himself. The guy can't even pass his friends. He wants to dribble. He loses the ball. He starts walking. It's like they can't do anything more. The only guy that looked like he was trying was Saud. But then even him, from the time that he got married, his form has been dwindling. So we don't know what has happened to him.
Kufa.
I mean, I'm just being candid here.
Kufa is on fire today.
You see, it feels very bad for a team like that to be donating points like that. No system, no nothing. They're just running like headless chickens. And the coach is busy watching. I don't even know what he was watching. The assistants are busy writing. What are you writing? Geography notes? Come on, I mean, we can do better. Zesco is a big brand. They've got all the support. All they need to do is have the right things in place. Let them, but start getting rid of the executive. They have outlived their elusiveness. The coaching staff equally should also go. Because I mean, coaches like Numba Mamba at the local face, he seems to be a good coach. But look, he lacks a lot of technicalities, tactical abilities. He doesn't have.
He's won the league. Okay, Vachari.
I want to help Kufa to have a breather first. But talking about Zesco United, maybe let them go the Zanaco way. Remove 11 players from their list. Bring in other players and start making up a good squad. I watched Zesco Red Arrows. On the day, Red Arrows were a better side than Zesco United. They were a better side. Truth be told, that's how they conceded that goal in the second half. But they have a lot of work to do. They have players like Adrian Chama. They have been there doing nothing. They have overlived their usefulness.
You can't build a team with Adrian Chama, Faxon Kapumbu, Chitia Msusu.
Big names, but performance.
Madala's team, yes, it's okay. But if you are building a team to compete in the Super League, those are not the materials.
Big names, but performance on the pitch. Donoshano Malam.
Build a team with those players.
All right, so we need to move on, gentlemen.
Okay.
Let me quickly run through the fixtures for the weekend, and then I'll ask you to pick your what you feel is crucial. Indeni versus Chambeshi. These are Saturday fixtures. Kafue Celtic versus Forest Rangers. Prison Leopards versus Buildcon. Kansanshi Dynamos versus Red Arrows. Konkola Blades versus Lusaka Dynamos. Nkana versus Zanaco. Sunday, Zesco United versus Cabo Warriors. Green Eagles versus Power Dynamos. And Green Buffaloes versus Inkwazi. This one will be interesting. Alderman, your pick of the weekend.
I'll go down. Indeni, Chambishi. Yeah, that will be very interesting because both teams are not okay. They are fighting relegation. And
only 2 points apart separates them.
Yeah,
between 14 and 16.
Very interesting. Only 2 points. Chambishi may want to keep the momentum they won, but Indeni has also not lost in about 4 games now. Yeah, that one will be a game to watch.
Vachali?
Yeah, I'll pick Kansanshi Dynamos up against Red Arrows. Kansanshi Dynamos, if they don't pick up points in these subsequent games, they will be going in the opposite direction, which is the Eden University. They lost their previous match after giving away what was seemingly an easy game. They had control of that game, but they couldn't even just get a draw. But coming up against Red Arrows, they want to cement their position on the top. But for Kansanshi Dynamos, they will need to up their game if they are to get any realistic result in that game. It won't be easy, but for Tenant Chulumba, if they don't start getting results, they should start counting down their days, their stay in the Super League.
All right. Arthur, sorry. Kufa.
I'm not exactly that
You can do better.
Exactly as that. Okay, I think my pick is Green Eagles Power Dynamos. For obvious reasons. Green Eagles is second on the log. They're trying to overtake Red Arrows, who are 2 points up above them. Power Dynamos is coming from 8 wins, if I'm not mistaken. Straight wins, huh?
But Kofa, you're right. I thought it was Buffaloes who are number 2. It's Buffaloes.
Buffaloes number 2, right?
Yeah.
It's GBFC number 2.
Yeah. So they are trying to get to the top. And in trying to get to the top, they just lost points to Buttecon. They want now to amass those points with
And
Power.
they are playing at home.
Yes, but is it going to be an easy game with Power's form? Okay, they've been picking points here and there, and the ship seems to be stabilized by one Mwenyash people. It's going to be a cracker of a match, and I can only wish the best team to win.
All right.
It's coming up on a Sunday.
Coming up, yes,
On a Sunday.
coming up on a
Is
Sunday.
it on TV?
I'm not sure which ones will be on TV as at right now. Okay, so I think for me it will be Green Buffaloes in Kwazi, because I really want to see whether
The battle of the
GBFC
servicemen.
can wake up.
These two teams,
And
They
in
are
Kwazi as
pretenders.
well, they also need to wake up.
These two teams are pretenders. Ngwazi not too long ago was number 2.
Yes.
GBFC was number 1 for so long.
Yes, that's
Despite them
how
not
it was.
winning.
The first 12 games of the season or so. They at least in Kwazi, at least the first 10 they were number 2. GBFC from the beginning they've
Today Kwazi
been
is number
topping
8.
until 2 games until this last game round. That's when they've now dropped to number 2. So the table as follows, and I'll give the Eden University table after this one because we didn't give it as well. Concola Blades sit at the bottom of the log with 5 straight losses in a row with only 12 points on number 18. 17 points Lusaka Dynamos with 16 points. Chambishi number 16 with 18 points. Kafue Celtic 15, 19 points. Indeni 14, 20 points. Kansanshi 13, 20 points. 12 Prison Leopards 21 points. 11 Cabo Warriors 24 points. Zanako number 10 with 25 points. Nkwazi number 9 25 points. Forest 8 25 points. Buildcon 7 28 points. Power Dynamo 6 28 points. Green Eagles 5 28 points. Zesco United 4 28 points. 3 Nkana 29 points. And 2 GBFC 31 points. And Red Arrows top the league with 33 points. So let me also give the Eden University log table as at today. 18 at the bottom of the log. Police College 15 points. Zesco Malaiti 17, 16 points. Livingston Pirates 16 points. Kaisa 15, 17 points. Luapula Green Eagles 14, 19 points. Quattro Kalumbila 13, 20 points. Muflira Wanderers 12, 21 points. Gomes 11, 22 points. Young Green Buffaloes 10, 22 points. City of Lusaka 9, 22 points. Young Green Eagles 8, 24 points. Nchanga Rangers 7, 26 points. Trident 6, 28 points. Jumulo 5, 29 points. Kitwe United 4, 29 points. FC Muza 3, 32 points. Lumwana Radiants 2, 35 points. And Napsa Stars 1, 35 points as well. Only goal difference separating number 1 and 2. 2 goals difference separating number 1 and number 2. All right, so we can now move on. Remember, we are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube as well. That's the Flava FM Football Show. You can look for us on those platforms if you wish to get in touch with us on the program. If you have anything to add, anything to say, any question which you have. A few messages here. This one says, come on Nkana FC. We are winning the league. This is FC Muba from Mindolo. This one says, we are champions. Kalampa, Average. They're already counting. We are playing CAF. No Green Eagles. No Zesco United. I'm Kelvin. This one says, panelists, please, I want to congratulate Nkana FC in advance for winning the 2021-2022 league title. This is Otis Sinkala, MN, Kalampa for life. Guys, relax. You're just number 3. Hi, DJ. This one for us. Oh, no. Someone wants some 90s music. Congratulations to Nkana for whipping police officers 2 painful strokes at their own inquiries. Kudos to Nkana fans. We watched the second half game in the rains. My plea to Nkana Exco is that let them work on Nkana billboard as soon as possible. This is Chief Chishantama of Nakonde, currently in Kitwe. Then this one says, evening pundits. Can FAS make it mandatory for players to have their names on their shirts like other leagues? Any latest on player and coach movements? This is soccer fan number 0 in Kitwe. Other messages. But Alderman, where is Joker's Curve FC? Okay. This one says, I think you, panel, you deserve... Okay, I had a disturbance. You deserve to administer one club, Benja in Indola in Mushiri. Then this one says, Power Dynamos must buy that Sierra Leone goalkeeper, I think he's trying to say. This is George from Power Dynamos.
It was his day.
Don't forget to send me the number for Vatembo. This is Bernard Kasongo from Muflera. He gave out the number.
I did. I
don't know whether you caught it. Evening panelists. It's yet another wonderful Wednesday evening. Panelists, I concur with you on the issues of our referees. We take away the fact that they are doing a great job. Unfortunately, on the issue of showing cards in the early minutes of the games, they are caught shy. They need to follow the ongoing AFCON games between Cape Verde and Cameroon. The referee flashed a card within the first minute. We can do better, guys. Let them learn from others. Okay, let me read another one. Vatembo, I want to ask you over the Kosafa under-17 national team. Why are they not being paid up to this time? Up to this time, excluding the ref.
Last week, I think
it came last week. I think you didn't hear the answer. And any team under the age of 18 is not paid any money. It's when you reach 18 and above, they can be paid. So under 20 teams can be paid. Under 23 can be paid. Under 17 is developmental and they are not paid. Good evening, Flava. We are enjoying the game between Mauritania and Gambia. It's good that Gambia is representing Zambia because of the letter G and Z. And Gambia is leading 1-0. Thanks to jersey number 3, Samba Jalo Lungu C. Michael from Kitwe. Alderman, I'm giving you 7 minutes for other news.
And transfers, of course.
And transfers.
Well, let's share. Like we said last week, January window is not so busy because most of the players are already committed on long-term contracts and so on. The one which is busy is the off-season one, May, June, July or so, before the league starts. We talked about a few last week, of course. It's no longer a secret. Brian will even played, and then Jess Were even scored for Kansanshi. We talked about those last week. But the latest that I picked goes on Mutale.
Forest.
Is moving to Forest. Rangers will be leaving Green Eagles. He's been there for a long time. He's still a good player. I think it will be good business in my view. I don't know what my colleagues are saying.
Yeah, but his contract just came to an end, and I think he lacked game time, and so he obviously thought of leaving. I hope he has secured himself in terms of a job, because his career is going down, and we don't want this situation.
He's not a soldier.
No.
We shall find out. He's not. Okay.
No.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to the Chief Executive Officer for Kaya Warriors, my good friend Charles Chakatazia. He confirmed to me that Hoshen Mushure has moved to Kaya Warriors.
Even played.
Yeah, even played. He's moved to Kaya Warriors from
Lusaka Dynamos.
Lusaka Dynamos. Lusaka Dynamos were pious. Is in trouble. Is facing the exit of a number of good players. But they keep playing well. I get surprised.
They are not paying players, and I think at some point this is a team that was bragging that they had 2 buses. Why not sell 1 bus and start paying the players? So almost everyone is exiting Lusaka Dynamos. Whatever they will remain with at the end of the day, only themselves know.
On the coaching side of things, Charlie had mentioned Kigan Siavene, who was assistant coach at Jumulo, has left the club and is going to take up the job as head coach at Ron United. Will it change? Well, let's wait and see. Like Kufa said, maybe needs more money than the new coach and so on. Across the borders, Justin Shonga, back in South Africa, this time around is with Skukune, where he's going to join
Toaster Sawata.
Sawata. Yeah, this guy has been moving up and down.
More of a tourist than a football player now.
And then
Ian Bakala also left Warriors.
Yeah, Ian Bakala also left Warriors.
In came Chris Kaunda.
Yeah.
They brought Chris Kaunda.
Chris Takatiko Kaunda started with a draw.
Started off with a draw, yes.
Yeah.
And he's being assisted by the same guy that they were with at Zanaco.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe to bring in a bit of Marvin Jerry. I've been admiring this chap. He's the only one I've seen was some promising career in the midfield. He's been developing. I've been watching Marvin, and he has been developing. And it's a pity Lusaka Dynamos have lost him to Kansanshi. Kansanshi have clinched this boy is now with
Kansanshi Dynamos play.
Yeah.
Okay.
So together with Were.
Yeah.
Jesse Were.
Then Ledaro's left back Joseph Lungu as he joined NAPSA. You know, these players, what they do, they position themselves. They know that NAPSA is already coming. So what you do is, don't delay. Otherwise the train will leave you.
He's got foresight.
Yeah, the train is moving.
Foresight.
So just jump before it picks.
You'll be playing Premier League
before
just
it
now.
picks the momentum.
But it's not guaranteed. Trust me, you can go with a team, win promotion with it, and still not play. Because he's leaving due to lack of game time at Arrows. So now he wants game time, of course, with a view that he bounces back in the Premier League and haunts the club, hoping it works out. And it's a gamble that is worth taking.
You know why I said so, Akufa? Because even Musonda Kavengere of City of Lusaka, he has also left the city and has gone to NAPSA.
No.
You know.
No, I think Perry is just luring some of these young lads to try and consolidate the team, hoping he doesn't trash them after they win promotion.
Yeah, we hear Zio Tembo may be headed Tanzania. Well, maybe for a year or two. Still a good player in my view. I don't know what.
No.
Is he finished?
Zambia na lero mtiri muledira aba win Africa Cup. Lero to akwata Zambia. Just because somebody played for a very long, you need to look at the form. The problem was that at the time that he was at his peak and going down, Zanaco did not have a plan B. Okay, to groom a player that would take over so that he's mentored. So they were caught just when the form dwindled. When he came from his professional stint, Zio Tembo was never a good player as he used to be.
And in the same vein, like Kufa is saying, Zio, I think he has lost speed. He's no longer the Zio we used to know of yesterday. Same with Jesse Were. Let not Kansanshi Dynamos pin all their hopes on Jesse Were. He's in the twilight. He's in the twilight of his football career. He'll be giving killer passes here and there, but let them not put him as a lone strike up front there. He has lost his speed, but those killer passes he'll be giving.
On other news, Papias, Barbara Banda this time round will be available. Remember, our team qualified for the final round, which will see them qualify to the AFCON for women in Morocco. So this time around, Barbara didn't play in the last round, but this time she's available. It will be between 14 and 23rd February when the two games will be played. So I hope that the Copper Queens can qualify, because you see men's team failing. If the Copper Queens don't, it will be something else. They have only one round more to qualify. Like I said, they are meeting Namibia. Yeah, it's over 2 games, and then this one is very, very important because the AFCON for women, which will take place in Morocco, will also be used as a World Cup qualifier, because the top 4 will go to
represent Africa.
Yeah, to represent Africa.
You forgot Chaniza Zulu. Chaniza Zulu is also being quoted going to NAPSA.
Yeah, Chaniza is also going to NAPSA. Thank you, Akofa. I don't know how
I keep everything.
I don't know how I missed that one. Yeah. And he talked about the stadium. Remember, I'd whispered to him, I said there's something coming. It had taken long, Akufa, because it had to follow strict FIFA guidelines. Here you don't blame FAS at all. The money came with the strict guidelines which had to be followed to the latter. And it's only now that the contractors are moving on site. I wanted to explain that.
Yes. You know, I already know the story behind that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if this is a national program, okay, I expect national backing without any of this juggling that has been going on. At the end of the day, we are depriving the country of the necessary infrastructure. I'm coming from Kasama. If you go to Kasama, there's no stadium.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're going to have one
to use the primary school ground to play football.
Yeah.
With a lot of paths where everyone can cross at any time, going to the hospital, going to a school, going to church. Somebody passes right in. There are even pitches where a truck ferrying sand to a plot passes. So a game has to halt at some point to allow the truck to pass. You don't find those things.
Yeah, right. Maite Wina Chunguro Pius, I was also talking to the chief executive officer. I always try to get authentic information, and she's told me by the time we come back for the program, we shall have the names that they are going to sign. There are 3 players training with the Flava Wanderers. It is good. You have been talking about legendary sides wallowing in lower divisions. So Flava Wanderers have got the 2 wins. They are going to sign 3 players who are training with them. Maybe by it's just paperwork. Maybe in the next 1 or 2 days. So we don't want to spill what has not yet been done officially, but I can assure you that Flava Wanderers are going to get 3 players.
Avena Milambo.
This is the executive which the supporters don't want.
You see, it's been working very hard.
We're at Shinde Stadium
Yeah.
not long ago covering
Yeah.
the game. Supporters were all over with banners.
Even if you win, you go.
You win, you lose, you should go. Leave the club. So the supporters don't want this executive. I hope they have mended fences and we don't want to see those. And the game is on TV. Supporters are going on. The club scores. The team scores rather. But the supporters are busy moving with a placard saying, expressing their dissatisfaction with the executive. One wonders, why are you watching that linen in public? Sit down together, find a solution together, and not the way it was happening.
1 minute, Alderman.
Oh yeah, a former technical center has been turned into accommodation center. You know, there are times when the national team it comes about 6 teams that they go. The under 20 women, under 23 men, senior team, and so on. So it's very expensive to keep them in hotels. So they are the technical center, which has been turned into accommodation center. With that one is almost complete. That is the good news. Yeah.
Yeah, because Mara Congolese san.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone is chasing for their monies from the fans. Huh? You know, Mwali camping under 20 tamwali pili. Mwali camping tamwali pili. I think that in the long term is going to reduce the cost bearing on fans. But also, if that infrastructure is in place, it has to be guarded jealously. Also hoping that there will never be a time that both of them, the women team and the senior national team, are in camp. We don't want problems.
Yeah, but it has been happening. They know how to separate them.
No, they've been staying in different teams.
Yeah.
But now that they'll be staying in the same place, we don't want problems.
Finally, Papias, in my 1 minute, obviously, is the announcement by FAS that they are appointing the new coach this week. But obviously, we know who is going to be picked. I mean, they have not done it officially.
It's an open secret.
It's an open secret. Yeah, it's an open secret.
Yeah,
Asanovic is expected to sign
to be unveiled.
To be unveiled and sign a 2-year contract as Polo coach. I think it's under the circumstances we are in, it's the most noble thing to do. You know,
and there's nothing in between. Challenging, very challenging. He can easily settle down.
Yes, but talking about anything challenging, 23rd will be the draws for the 2023 AFCON
qualifiers.
Yeah.
Because we have AFCON
yes, we have AFCON next year. We have AFCON 2023.
Yes.
The draws are on 23rd this month, and the games start in May. So the new coach will be a bit busy. So there's
for me, in as much as you are going to give this coach a 2 years contract, can we train our own coaches? Let's have maybe some of these senior coaches. If FAS can have a system where they can say, okay, we are going to get maybe 3 coaches, put them on the payroll, let them not be attached to any club. Their job is to just check which player can I pick from Ghana, which player can I pick at Pau, which player can I pick at Zanaco. You know, if that's going to be their job, it will be easy for them to make a team that can stand the test of time in a very long time. Of course, notwithstanding that it will come with a cost, but then that cost can always be minimized because you have your own people that you would have trained, and part of the maybe clauses in that employment contract should be because of the training we gave you. You need to render a service.
But Wakufa, you're talking about something which should have happened already anyway. There were 4 young coaches who were identified who should have gone to Spain all of a sudden,
They
the
have not
program
gone.
just...
They have
This
not
is where
gone.
I'm saying, this is the problem now. This
should
is
have
the
done
problem,
that already.
Because, we, you know, okay, assuming, which is a very likely thing to happen, this coach does not win us games. We chuck him out. What happens? We are back to where we were, looking for a coach. Maybe tuweze kwa Chambeshi, tuweze kwa Wanda, tuweze kwa Chiangi, tuweze kwa nani. So we are just going back to the old abnormal way of doing things. We
My,
should come to an
my
end.
biggest worry is on player selection. We keep at times picking players who are clubless, players that have not signed a contract, get them to the national team. I hope that we can have a very serious technical committee. If they pick a player, it has to be on merit.
Yeah.
Check around properly. Local players and abroad have
Even
a
in
serious,
the Eden League.
yes, even in
The
the
big
Eden
players
League,
speak from the
on
Eden.
merit.
I've always given this example. During my time in the Division 1 League, we had Mishek Lungu, who was coming from Musaka City Council, a Division 1 team.
He was picked
Then
by the army.
He used, no, before he went to the
Yeah,
army, he
I
went
know.
to the army later on. But he used to play for the national team when he was coming from a Division 1 League. We had a few other players. Muhammad Sadat, when he was at City, there was a time they were in one. He was playing for the under 20. We had a number of players that were playing in the lower league. Maybe we had too much talent. I don't know about now whether the talent that we have in the Eden League, Tulotuma guys no Namwe, I don't know. And you see, just 1 minute pass. It hurts me so much.
30 seconds.
Okay, to see that these players that have all the technology on their fingertips cannot utilize their brains and maybe copy a player. If I'm a defender, for instance, central defender, some of the best central defenders are maybe Van Dijk. How does Van Dijk play his football? How can I learn from him? You know, I expect players to do that. You're a goalkeeper. Which goalkeepers can I look at, and which goalkeepers can I emulate and become a better goalkeeper? So it's like they don't learn at all. The only thing these players learn first is how to dye their hair, copying these guys. That's dye their hair halfway. That's the only thing we see. We don't see them even play good football. My 30 minutes.
They're copying Paul
30
Pogba
seconds.
and they're
You know, you're broke. Hello, taukwete na kiti nempia taukwete nimtaule samba nefia londoloka. Sisi mwa safi daisha. Muna moneka fe timbi kwa tu ufumine fe pa street. I think Patrick Charlie understands what I'm saying.
Yes, yes.
Do you?
Talking football.
You know, there should be that standard. I mean, during our times, Katebo Katina Kafuma, we know player not attacking. Ale Monica no Monegati. Ale number away from Monica. Not that if you start to Sakura, she go have me if number.
Christopher Montage.
What
Okay.
irritates me is that
Let me stop here. I've spoken too much.
Arthur, so if, today, second time, I think Arthur, maybe I've missed him today.
Yeah,
Ottoman, you're done?
I'm done. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I thought that's
So
we should
what
have shared.
we will do now is, I think let's open up the phone lines. Then that's when we'll come back and talk AFCON, and then
Papas, a quick one.
Yes.
They'll be asking about that AFCON issue. What is this journey? Can we quickly
you
just
want us to
discuss
tackle
then
the Janice Kazi
Uh-huh.
before? Okay, let's
so that
tackle
the phones can.
let's tackle the Janice Kazwe issue. But Charlie, let me start with you.
Yeah, let me kick off.
What was your view of the officiating
Truth
and what happened this afternoon?
Truth be told, Gianni Sikazo, I think, misrepresented our country. He was the sole ambassador at the AFCON 33rd edition in Cameroon, where all eyes are set on the Nations Cup. But his performance, I think, left a lot to be talked about. I was having my lunch stroke supper, but after making those serious blunders, I couldn't continue eating. I'll sleep like this, but that record cannot be erased. What Gianni Sikazo has done this afternoon is beyond imagination. How can you stop a game 5 minutes to go? I think Alderman Tembo, you are better equipped in that area. We'll get back to you. But in summary, I've never seen what I saw today by Gianni Sikazo. Food for thought.
Well, that was so grave a mistake to make at that level. I mean, a referee of Jan Kazo's stature should not make elementary mistakes at a tournament like the AFCON. okay, you not only stop a game 5 minutes before its time. Then I think for me I had a problem with him because he was not consulting with his other officials. At the time that they went for that cooling break, I have a feeling he did not stop his watch. And then they restarted. His watch kept moving, so his watch was ahead of the actual time. And so, according to him, because there was a time that he went to the VAR, he was not stopping the watch. So probably for him, when he checked the watch, it was time up. And he did not consult. Stopped the game. Then when they they confronted him about the time, he says, let's continue play. At that point he should have again consulted his assistants. What do we do, gentlemen? There's this situation. I think the fourth official usually has a time. The first assistant usually has a time. They would have checked the times to correct and harmonize. So by the time it was probably from 95th going to the from the 85th going to the 89th minute, he thought he had added the 4 minutes. He ended the game prematurely again. There were a few seconds. And now, the biggest talking point is that at that point, Tunisia is down by 1 goal. But they are up by 1 man. Because Mali has a red card. And they are thinking in the last 4 minutes, because even a second in football is very important.
It does count.
It counts. Now, they think we have these 4 minutes. We want to press the game, take the game to the Malians, probably get a goal, and salvage a point out of the game. Then he ends the game and is adamant he doesn't want to be told anything, and that's how he ended the game. I don't know whether they played because I started coming to the studio thereafter. So for me, I think he erred so much on that one. Even the card, for me, others will argue that it was a red card. For me, that should have been a yellow card. Especially that VAR asked him to review that decision. Because for him, it was a straight red. So he was told, can you go and recheck your decision so that maybe it can help you to change your position after you have viewed it again. He maintained it was a red card and he waved it away. For me, it was a yellow card. He has made a mistake, and I hope he doesn't come back after this game that he officiated.
Alderman, the overseer of referees in Zambia. if referees at the church, Alderman would have been bishop.
I would be the reverend.
General overseer.
General
And what
overseer.
would Kufa be?
Kufa, you would have been an usher. Yeah, you would have been a rebel member, kicked out.
You have made my day of appearance. Well, it was unfortunate. Generally, I think he had a good day. There was a contentious decision whether it was red or not. To me, that is neither here and there. Generally, he had a good game. All those who watched with an open mind will agree that generally he had a good game. The 2 penalties were correct. He checked the VAR and so on. Now, I was surprised also that 5 minutes to go, he blew for to signal the end of the game. I couldn't understand. Now, what was even worse was when he was corrected and decided to continue with the game. I thought he was going to correct that situation, because you can't end a game without giving the fourth official a signal to say
Additional time.
Additional time is this, so that the fourth official can show everyone.
And the fourth official was ready to lift that thing.
Yes. There is no game where you can't, where you're not showing the how many minutes has been given as added time. So, elementary, the mistake, to quote Kufa's words, elementary at that level. And the only punishment, unfortunately, which is been a precedence at that level, is that you go home. The referee who makes such a mistake is asked to leave. I don't know if they will spare him. They may look at other considerations, maybe look at his history and so on. But the mistake is so elementary that by now maybe CAF has already made a decision for him to go. This will be a big blow to the young man, because he was already listed for World Cup competition. To me, he was reaching his peak now in refereeing. We expected that he was going to handle the final of this edition, and of course, proceed to the World Cup with a lot of confidence.
What about the earpieces and all the messages which they get? Don't they have correct communication?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe it's too early for us to judge him. CAF will have to look at what happened, because at that level, I don't expect a referee to make such a mistake. You are right. The fourth official communicates with him.
Yes.
The assistants communicate with him. Those in the VAR, they communicate with him. How can someone make two mistakes of a similar nature?
I think for the VAR, their job is only to look at the incidences happening on the
decisions.
Decisions.
Okay, let's remove the VAR out of that. But
these four,
the assistants and the fourth,
probably the match commissioner as well.
Yes.
match commissioner out. Him just observes what goes on. But the assistants, that's why he has those earpieces. They communicate. Was there a problem? Did he get wrong communication? And normally, the way FIFA do it, when a referee speaks English, they will look for the assistants who also speak English.
Maybe on a light note.
If there is a French referee and he speaks only French, they will get French. The assistants who speak French. That has been the tradition.
Yeah.
So the issue of communication, to me, maybe the device, no, certainly not the language.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I don't want to be seen to be defending referees. Such things happen.
Which you are already doing.
Such things happen. I also stopped a game, 1989. Changa, it should have been Changa Rangers versus Vitafo, 6 minutes to go. And then I was reminded that
there's still time.
There was still time.
And in those days, there was no technology, no earpiece.
Yes, nothing.
There was no that body to show that time.
I asked
only the first assistant who would signal.
Yes.
Somehow.
I asked the teams to come back. They cooperated. That's how I finished the game. So maybe, I'm just supposing, I think Jan was under so much pressure because he thought he had made a mistake on the red card, and now this thing. They are watching me at home. I want to officiate the final. It could have been that he was distracted somehow. He must have been under pressure.
Now
I'm just imagining myself being in his boots. He could have been under a lot of pressure.
From a referee's perspective, is he allowed to come out in the press to say, this is what happened, or it's somebody else has to?
He's only supposed
CAF has to come out and give something from the report and say, okay, the referee was confused because of such and such a thing, because it's in the public domain.
It is.
I think an explanation needs to be given.
What will happen is that him will put it in his report as usual. You don't call referees for to castigate them and so on. They will rely on his report and the report of the match commissioner, and then from there they are going to explain, because obviously Tunisia by now maybe have already lodged a complaint.
Yeah,
they have already done that.
Yeah, on a light note, others are saying maybe he was using a watch from a cheap source. A very cheap source.
But you see, the commentators were so much.
The watch stopped.
The commentators need to be. The commentators need to be professional, because they are saying, because the gadgets.
Is it unprofessional when the commentator passes a joke?
No, I said that was not a joke. I listened to it because the gadgets are inspected by FIFA, by CAF. You know, you can't pick your own.
So it's Gianni's mistake.
Yeah, it is Gianni's mistake.
You can't blame
And those are probably provided.
You can't blame the equipment.
Tournament.
Yes.
That's like a whistle and all those things.
Referees go 1 month before the tournament. The first thing they do is physical fitness. You drop, you pack your bags and go. Then they are tested, oral tests. After that, that's when they go through the revised laws now to prepare them for the actual tournament. Quite a lot goes into that.
So, points-wise, I'm sure his rating has really dropped.
No doubt about that. It's a big blow.
Beyond redemption.
That mistake at that level, like I said, the only punishment is
send him back.
Is gone. Is coming home. I'll be very surprised if he stays there.
I pray they keep him.
That would be miraculous.
They keep him.
But there's precedence.
That's
You make a mistake at that level,
prayer.
they send you home. Okay.
The stage
Now
is
it will be
too
a blow
big.
because we expected him to handle the final, like I said, and then with that confidence, go into the World Cup. Remember, Jan has been to the World Cup. His pedigree is known by everyone.
He's the only African ref to have officiated at the FIFA Club World Cup.
Club World Cup.
Final, yes.
Yeah. So it's sad to Mr. Skarswe. We can only sympathize with him. We don't know what went wrong. And such things happen in refereeing sometimes. So
But they are not supposed to happen.
they are not supposed to.
Yes.
More especially
At that level, no.
More especially at that level.
Away from football, Saad Muhammad defeated Loti Moale in a boxing match in the 4th round when the whole world was watching. Muhammad Ali was there also. But Loti Moale disappointed the whole world by losing in the 4th round. Such things happen. The stage was too big for him to err like that.
Yeah. There's
It
no
was-
doubt.
But
There
stage
we are
was
he
totally.
had a lot of pressure. Maybe he was looking at the final. You don't jump the gun when you go to the final, or the expectation from home was too high, too much. It's like you bring me in the studio and you expect me to start jittering. I mean, I've not been in the studio like now, huh? So you know how to adjust yourself when you get at any stage. You understand? That's the point I'm trying to drive. If somebody knew, yes, they will probably have problems here and there to catch up. But somebody who's, for me, he is probably the most celebrated ref in Africa.
Yeah.
For me.
All right. So I think let's pick some calls and then we'll talk AFCON.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I think let me give a good 10 minutes to the calls. Good evening, caller. Good evening, caller. Good evening, caller.
Mabomba ja.
Bwine Mulishani.
Babujo.
Shani Babuju. Please go ahead.
Panyo fo ningalanda fe. Twalalanda ko fe pali bazanako bola ya boida bakwate andambiri ya kutera fe bola ma switching. Balete yako na pamidi bako shako midi. Eno babaisho babwino kutea bola. Panyo ya balete eba shere ko balete yako kafu. Mavena bate bakwete fe bola ya ku switching na fe kuntanshi. Ila bola ya kula bashupa. Deni na Fila skazwadishe fila basapota abankana barera ndati tabatulisha bwino. Badi bare tarika abantu bachimwe n'abantu. Nomba teti ndande sana kati nashira manana ka picture kala babikile pa social media. Ati na bamupupira nomba kutetekera mu gwanga tepisu. Ati rifari atfo kurowa ba player afirwa so kurowa rifari bamufurunganya abantu. So teti tulolere festi. Ofo ikesa ba mayere tungalanda pobwino sana.
Tell him Buju. 0212222877. Good evening, caller.
Yes, Mr. Pat.
Yes, who am I speaking to?
Yeah, speaking with Clifford Mope from Smemu.
Well, Clifford, please go ahead.
I go straight to Kuliba Waskazo. Otherwise, I'm not happy. Mungu for movie. But you feel but Mungu for movie to fetch. Otherwise, let us just support him. Not if you go back to media, want to post if she will the Zambian, let us support him. And another issue is, I don't know if Shabanko Elder money. ene latest kuchira toku. Thank you.
Thank you, Clifford.
Okay.
All right.
No latest yet.
Okay. Good evening, caller.
Good evening.
Who am I speaking to?
Boyd.
Boyd
from Zage.
Boyd Chibulu, please go ahead.
In the Flava festival, but I just because Sharandesa. And that boy, I was very disappointed. Push a border if I didn't know. She now border Tamurisa and I'm dreaming. They could have a vika what this time. Actually, push a ve. No one could have a vika what this time on the children. So, Nisha is going to she be from that over this. In the never for grandpa my prayers. I think nam much Takona Taku, but it would very be. Man's prayers is a very good example, good Vietnam guys, because Mamma he was given only one opportunity to take out of Amuri Termo, Nimuri Deb, Amuri Tampadi Deb, Padi Power and Ghana. He played very well, and you know, Stanakon Ganya Pokte, as I am games. So, Gaban Pera, ama opportunities to play such games. Coach Tanaka, good day, we in the box, or we not trust good about coach. Nishiava, Nishmambo, and then could I end a man's prayers over in Aranda Sanzana. If you ever channed up watch Kumiako, Kuma prayers over to some stuff, to some good roof for winning. Abana and Kaniko, Idia about winning Africa Cup. That what Tabaris Tabashi and Bookstop Gurum, it's him winning is actually the press or Yama prayers. So a pen among prayers very win a very papi to win. Very weak of Filipino, very Tambamonets, who pray in Ganagora, not to such in shit, Sim Pamukumori, and seven of us, Kubarubani. It's him, but good is somebody praise 1-1. In showroom community team coordination, what I tell from Pagavana cooperation. Thank you very much, Mr. Paz.
Thank you.
Alanda Winawachiburu.
0212222877 or 0965000877. Good evening, caller.
Hello, Papa.
Hello.
Mwabomben.
Yeah, Mkwai. Who am I speaking to?
Nampanga combination ya chupa.
Ole.
Ninjumfa bwino ndemuna kwati bazona sate na ubashpa. Papa ngulu pali. Kwisa kuli ba na last straight kuli bankana nde batasha pakuchita revenge bankwazira batu in F2 chali tukalipa bankwazira batu in first game so twali revenge 2-0 nderanda kuli ba Preston chambeshi tukateana bazanako bakabomfe formula ila babomfe sheko kuli ba Power Dynamo yakushaba midfield zanako kaina ena ali bako creative so bakabompe ba midfield bakaba kushe mu mid kulanda kuri skazwe ba Fire nangu ni muloko ligi arafaka kula yaswainga mali mona tawina na mawa ngamuka ndewe na mawa nena ike mwapo na Rodrick Nkore pali skazo problem wali bako stapon tashi baki entu apole na poida alaba sana stapon ngalelisha problem ya paliskazi na pisa na tokera.
Okay. Famous. All right. Okay. Good evening, caller.
Hello. Good evening, Raphael.
Good evening. Who am I speaking to?
Mr. Albert Mwamba Kukwacha.
Well, Albert Mwamba Kukwacha. Please go ahead.
Wow, the Mantemba, how are you, cousin?
You are through finally today.
Finally, I was just waiting for my famous to end in a chinika wangu. Bakufa mlishani. Anyway, in a gentleman, what I want to say is there are good days and bad days. So let's not so much crucify Gianni Scarzi. We don't know what transpired. Like they say, if you are going to investigate a case, finish all angles before you make a decision if you are a police officer, either to arrest or not to arrest. So for me, you guys there as journalists, what you are saying, you are being watched the whole world. And then they'll say, look at their own people, they are criticizing him there in Zambia. What about the other? So please spare Gianni, allow him the benefit of doubt, let the truth come out, then we can comment decisively next Wednesday the pros and cons and why such decisions were made. For now, gentlemen, I want you to focus on our league. What is happening to the lower position of MTN Super League, where Lusaka Dynamos are and Konkola. I said it on another show last Monday to say, look at Lusaka Dynamos. They have done more draws than wins, and that's precisely what Kitwa United did before they went to Eden University. So for me, these are candidates for Eden University. Whatever comes, I don't see Lusaka Dynamos picking 10 wins from the remaining 16 fixtures. It's not possible. So Konkola, Lusaka Dynamos are already candidates. I'll spare Chambesh because Chambesh slowly they are winning games, especially at home. But Chambeshi, Konkola, Lusaka Dynamos, they are gone. Then, gentlemen, let's have a situation where next week we can talk about the budding young players that are coming up. Do we have a team that can stand for the next 10 seasons? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Albert. Good evening, caller. Oh, we lost that caller. All right. Good evening, caller.
Hello, Bashan Koi.
Mulishani. Kennedy, please go ahead.
And the Falkland of Palibascas. Our Chilishafe, we know, but if I didn't have an inch to have need, so but if we know, they came to Valole to money for Valarisha contention. But if you win what Chilisha, we know.
Thank you, thank you, Kennedy. 0212222877. Good evening, caller.
Hello?
Hello, good evening, caller.
We are Mabombin.
Hey, Mukwai.
Wasa Joe Pandeke hapa.
Wasa Joe, please go ahead.
Mukwai. Tulipokulanda kupata ba Jans Kazu. Hello?
Hello. London boss.
Kupata ba Jans Kazu.
Please, London boss.
Ba Jans Kazu amawala. Time bade yakuda bena barandati bare yamusta compete wakati final. Tabalanda fira. Bonza amadi fari abadi uku. Bare fana bena wakati final. So da bachi mubaza udo apena mchibaza. Efe ati mchifikira wala. Uda naba mbaza wala. So uda nomba abika kadia ya kupantamu. Ira red card. Tachivan red card. Ira peno tachafu akani watu ni. Yachivan yanti bora chika tena kana. Paka wamwe baba kaprea kavie pava. Kochi wale nanzi fari wale kwebuke pava wakaprea. Ufiro wa step bongo wale ncheti. Msonga wale ya kuma tournament ya fija. Wafire wale panga mawala. Bonsa wale bombero kudisha fine. Nati yonka irish. Takwa wabo kulandila chadi. Ni appointment. Nombanga walandila chadi. Munga waba nobetibena tabade fwaya. So, Jans Kazu wale kia mawala. Bakari ukudisha nomba wale iche. Loro bena ama games badisha. Mula ba ama red card. Bena favor sport ama red card. Because na kuchani ifo bachi kidepo ile aba Kongo na wa Ghana. Ile amba for red card. So, Jans Kazu wapoze kwa amana.
Hatina vamos buzz. guys. Okay, one more, then we can. Good evening, caller.
Hello, good evening.
Who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to Peter from Chambori.
Well, Peter, please go ahead. Radio from Pari Radio.
Arena Chirafu Granda Pari Janis Kaza. Okay, Janis Kaza sometimes I'll panga on our mistakes. Because in the last time we named the bookshop Pari Mbombo. Tiara Bazesco, then I got to pay a penalty. So Mbombo, what do you mean a penalty? I'm catching a Pari Preavancano and Gilemoitini. James Kazasarisha, Afontano. They would somewhat salon with my tower shady them. But I tell me look Bola Manchester Nombarine. They are degi as a very good. What are in films to shade? But if I workshop of penalty in a camp, wow, man, I'm catch your fiat saying so. But James Kazuna very Mawala Fakapula. How not do it?
Thank you, boss. Okay.
Game mlera ndapo ni Nkana Power. Absa Cup. Semi-final. Not his score, yeah.
But in Zambia, Twalgo take on a refu Mbicha Nombari. I think it should have been the game. In Dania, I can't remember whether it was Lusaka Dynamos. Refu Ali push a ball 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Not too long ago, December.
Yeah, last year. I remember. It was an indoor, right?
Yeah, it was indoor.
All right, gentlemen, AFCON. That's where we are going now. Before we go in group by group, gentlemen. Who has impressed you so far? I start with you, Bachali.
So far, I think I've been impressed by the performance of Nigeria.
Yeah.
Moses, terrific winger. I think they're good side.
Yeah.
So far.
Arthur.
Yeah.
Lelo, I don't know what I mean. Kufa.
I think like Patrick Charlie, the Egypt-Nigeria game was a game to watch. These other games, I don't even know what these teams are doing.
Yeah.
They are just there for draws. But if you put a ball, I put a draw. You know, this is now where I have a problem. Why we increased it from 16 to 24 teams? It's because of some of these games. Teams are so cagey. They will slow down the game and try by all means to get a point, just in case they become the third or the best losers and progress. But that time when we had 16 teams, you lose your first game, you're already under pressure. You want to put up a fight, win the next game. But this one, we'll see a pattern where strikers are not attacking. I think by now we have played 10 games, if not more. Goals we have scored probably 9 to 10. An average of 1 goal per game. I think this is not.
Yeah,
good.
that's the basic average. Ottoman.
Well, it has been on a slow start, like my colleagues have said. But apart from the Nigeria one, I enjoyed Sierra Leone versus the defending champions, Algeria. Algeria made a mistake. They underrated Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone played very well. We saw some goalkeeping which I've not seen for a long time, and it was interesting because I looked at the crowd that was watching that game in the capital city back home. Maybe also the support motivates the team, you know. The capital city was full of people, you know, watching these games in big screens. Which means they are with their team, although they are not in Cameroon. Yeah. So the support also sometimes.
For me, that game was Algeria versus the goalkeeper. There was a difference in that game.
Algeria, Sierra Leone.
Yeah, but apart from the goalkeeper, the back four came to the party. At least they really frustrated Mahrez and the team.
There was only one defender who frustrated Mahrez. When Mahrez shifted from the right wing to the left wing, he followed. So he was
given instructions.
Your job is to mark this guy. Wherever he goes, if he goes to the toilet, go with him. That was the instruction, and he did a good job. But then I think the Sierra Leone guys, even after being away, for them you saw the celebration. Like they have won a game. The way they were celebrating.
The goalkeeper even shed tears.
Yes,
look,
on the
order for the goalkeeper, but for the players to even celebrate, hug each other, go in the state. You know,
but it was a game plan. It was a game plan. So
you know, they executed
Algeria
the
slaughters
very well. Remember, this is the Algeria which scores by not less than 5 goals. They are defending champions. They are the coterie of European-based professionals. So those are the reason to celebrate. Sierra Leone, look at the ranking.
And this is
poorly ranked.
This is a side which has not qualified in 26 years. 26 years.
Yes.
They last played AFCON, I think, when Zambia played with them in South Africa.
Yes.
So you should excuse them.
Massive jubilation.
That massive jubilation may even motivate them
to... Comparatively, look at the way Malawi came out. When Malawi played their game, they really took the game to... Which team was that?
Guinea.
They took the game to Guinea. They had a lot of chances to actually kill that game. If you saw the flair that Malawi was putting up, what killed them was the naivety. They didn't know where to spot the, to shoot and pick the points where to score from. That was the only undoing. But if you look at the balance of play, they were better than Guinea.
Yeah.
And I know Guinea, if they lose, their president told them, you have to pay back the money.
He was busy watching, by the way.
He was busy watching.
He had the screen on his own also watching.
So they are not going anywhere.
Oh yes, I've seen the picture.
They are not going anywhere. You could be outplayed by Malawi like that.
But at least the president was happy that he won the first game.
Yeah,
he's watching closely.
So, Vachali.
Yeah.
looking at the results, the way they have been. First game, Cameroon 2, Burkina Faso 1. Then all the remaining games except Algeria, Sierra Leone 1-0, including today's games. Both games 1-0, 1-0. Do you think teams might open up as we go into the second round of matches?
Pass, I think it's a worrying state of affairs where you see out of 10 games played so far, only 9 goals have been scored.
Oh, I'll give you the exact number.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Teams very, very defensive. We have teams that are making maiden appearances. We have teams that
11 goals so
11
far.
goals
up to
the games that
this
played
moment. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
And it's game number what? 11.
And this is game number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes.
Yeah. From the competition.
It's a goal per game.
Yeah, a goal per game.
Not good. Not good.
From the competition arrangement, I think that has been first class. I think we have seen very, very good stadiums around. So far, it has actually started off very well, but the worrying factor is on the pitch. We saw, like in the game against Senegal, Zimbabwe, heartbreak for Zimbabwe, conceding in the 97th minute after defending very, very well. But the other game which was of interest is the Cameroon-Burkina Faso game. We saw Cameroon start off very, very slow, conceded, came back, got on top, heartbreak for Burkina Faso. But I can see Burkina Faso, they will mount a challenge, even in this group. The other team which has been very disappointing, I know we'll go group by group, but I just want to touch the other country which has not performed well is Ghana. They have the Ayew brothers. I think their time is up. Ghanaian football is not about the Ayew brothers. I think they can pick up other players to take over from Ayew. He didn't play very well. I think
that team, they are perpetual losers.
I think
they've been losing from the time of Ayew's father.
Yes.
So they are the only team that
from the time the father used the Vigi bomb.
Yes.
5 finals. They've not won, not even one. 5 finals. They
are underperforming. I think that ego, I think, must be taken away from the Ayew brothers. Let them identify other players to take over. But so far, I think so good, apart from a few defense lapses. The other team, again, I think, which will play very, very well, I think it's Mali with Besuma of Brighton. He looks very, very promising. I think we are yet to see these games coming alive.
Inachile mpapusha. Striker, ule utukila ukuya mapenalty. Striker. What's your job then? Right now, if this tournament was to end today, the golden boot goes to Vincent Abubakar. Has he really come out to play? No.
No.
You see that?
The 24 years old.
He scored the 2 goals. Penalties. A striker should fight for their goals. That's what I've believed in. And that's what I'm not seeing at the tournament.
So far, 2 penalties have been missed. Very poor penalty, which I saw last night.
Very poor indeed.
I was just saying, this chap, very okay. Anyways,
in a nutshell, it's not like the defenders are good. No, it's the strikers who are poor.
Cameroon, Cape Verde, Burkina Faso, Ethiopia. That's Group A. We've got matches coming up starting tomorrow. Cameroon versus Ethiopia, Cape Verde versus Burkina Faso. What are you seeing, Kufa?
Well, I see the Burkina Faso game to be a game to watch, because Burkina Faso is trying to avoid another loss, because if they lose, they are technically out of the tournament. But then if you look at Cape Verde, they are not a very good team, because Ethiopia on that day played better than Cape Verde. Even if they were 1 man down, Ethiopia were a better team. So I expect them to show us that they're a good team. And so it will be a game to watch.
All the Ben, on Friday we have 4 matches. So if we talk about Group B, Senegal, Guinea, I think one to watch, and Malawi, Zimbabwe. What are your expectations from Group B?
Senegal, Guinea. I expect Senegal to come to the party this time. They didn't do well, so obviously this time round they'll pick maximum points. Now, coming to the battle of Zimbabwe and
Malawi.
Oh my God, what a crash! But both of those teams, both of those teams will be out anyway. It's the other two who are going. We cannot even, irrespective of what result, it may even be a draw.
From the general play, don't you expect Zimbabwe to take the upper hand? Don't you think Zimbabwe can actually give Guinea a run for their man?
Yeah, on the balance of play, I think Zimbabwe has got an edge. Except that, you see, when you lose the first game, you tend to panic. Okay? So the best that they can do is just regroup and fancy their chances once again on the pitch. They are not too bad a side. The second game will determine their fate in terms of progression in this tournament. But for Malawi, I think these are the whipping boys, no doubt. They are the whipping boys in this group.
But if you watched Malawi play,
they played better than Zimbabwe.
If you watch them, and if they are going to pick up the form from where they left when they played Guinea,
unfortunately, Bakufa, I've watched Malawi. They are not consistent. You'll be shocked. Watch their next game. It will be something else. That's how it was even in the qualifiers.
They looked more clinical. They looked more organized.
That's how they played even in the World Cup qualifiers. You know, when you expect them to...
The only problem with Malawi is that they don't score.
Yeah.
Going to this tournament, they were the least scoring team with 4 goals on qualification. I expect you know that is your problem. Start scoring. Find a way that you can combine and score. Of course, they are creating chances, and if a team creates chances, it's a positive for them. All they need to do is how do we bury the chances. They can look back to the other game and improve on that.
Are you aware, Pius, that a draw for Guinea and Senegal technically knocks out Malawi and Zimbabwe
straight?
No, it doesn't. No. If one of the teams win between Malawi and Zimbabwe,
because if Zimbabwe, let's say Zimbabwe wins 3-0,
yes,
and then Zimbabwe beats Senegal.
Yeah.
But look,
Zimbabwe beats Guinea.
We're also looking at the pedigree. We are also looking at the pedigree
on paper, or if you say on paper.
In any case, no one has ever won football on paper. They
do.
Around, you would have been playing the World Cup even if it hasn't started.
Because they will have 4 points.
Okay.
Kufa.
Yes. Meaning that going in their last game and whatever happens between Zimbabwe and whoever wins is third, breathing right behind the two teams. Meaning that in their last game, they can win a game.
Zimbabwe and Malawi must start packing
it's a must win for Zimbabwe.
Yes. They should
but reality, I'm giving Zimbabwe a chance. I think Guinea can be ousted.
Yeah.
I think Guinea. Wait. Guinea is not convincing me as well. I'm giving Zimbabwe a chance.
That's why there's a directive from the president.
On paper, it's supposed to be Senegal and Guinea, but I'm giving a chance to Zimbabwe.
No, if they had drawn,
let's see the next game.
If they had drawn, you know, they need to.
Because, for example, if Zimbabwe beats Malawi 3-0, that is they are more in the driver's seat than Guinea, especially if Guinea loses.
That scoreline can actually keep them in the top.
Yes, because nobody has scored more than 2 goals.
Best losers,
they can still go through.
Yes.
Because, and just maybe to explain this bias, we have 24 teams. At the end of the first round, 12 teams go through. Technically, 12 teams should go home. But then there will be 4 teams that will have better points, called the best losers.
That's
there. 16. So at the end of it, only 8 teams will go home.
Okay. Kufa, very quickly. Morocco, Comoros, Gabon, Ghana.
Well, this one I can outrightly say Morocco is taking the first one. Ghana, they are serial losers. I don't fancy them to win.
You don't fancy them to beat Gabon?
No. Gabon won their game.
I've got
and going into this game, they want to consolidate their lead.
For me, I
think
Ghana will win. I think they'll struggle.
Yeah, they'll struggle.
But they've got enough ammunition to win it.
Yeah.
You know,
Ghana has enough material.
The funny part of these games, the moment you are playing a team and the time that you get into halftime without scoring, pressure tends to creep in. Before you know it, you're making an extra.
And Ghana will be playing under a lot of pressure.
Definitely.
They need goals.
Yeah, but with the material that Ghana has, I think I agree with your parents.
They've always lost.
They'll struggle. They'll go.
They've always lost.
They always reach final. The other time they lost on penalties.
For them, they are doing a complete rebuild. It's only I was looking at their squad. I think if you talk of maybe even 2018, 2015 Africa Cups, there are only 3 players who can go that far back. But it's
Thomas
a completely
Partey,
new
another
squad.
aging player. Andre Ayew, another aging player.
And Jordan. But the thing is, okay, Andre is 32. Jordan is what? 29?
He's 29.
Thomas Partey.
So, yes, Thomas Partey. But then they've got a lot of promising youngsters.
Yes.
So I think it will be a mix of the coaching. If they are coached well into it, maybe they can do it.
Let them just bench Ayew. He's failing to run properly.
Which are you, by the way?
Andre Ayew. Ayew.
And Alderman, Nigeria, Sudan, Guinea-Bissau, Egypt.
Nigeria and Egypt. Although I was disappointed by the way the Pharaohs played.
I was also disappointed with
it. Very disappointed. But on paper, I think they will struggle and get to the next round.
Okay. About Charlie.
Yeah.
Gambia, Mali, Cote d'Ivoire, Sierra Leone.
To me, this is a very, very interesting group, but I fancy Mali and Tunisia to navigate and
Tunisia
get to.
It's not Tunisia.
Tunisia is there.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes,
Tunisia is there.
In the Gambia Mali group, yes, there's Tunisia.
Yeah, there's Tunisia there.
So actually, the fixtures I'm supposed to give you, because I mixed the fixtures is Gambia, Mali, Tunisia, Mauritania. They are not
Gambia,
in order. The one in here.
Mauritania, Gambia. One of them may get it as the best losers.
Mauritania has lost this evening, I'm told.
Yes.
To Gambia.
So Gambia. So this group looks evenly poised. Mali and Tunisia will get it. One of them may get the best loser slot, but it looks manageable for Mali and Tunisia to take up this slot.
I agree.
Okay. All right. And Kufa, Cote d'Ivoire, Sierra Leone.
Another hard one. These are two neighbors, and on paper, Ivory Coast looks good, but Sierra Leone needs to really come to the party. Not the game they played yesterday.
Algeria, Equatorial Guinea.
Algeria will take this one.
So you in your book, Cote d'Ivoire, Algeria, they're going through
as direct qualifiers.
As direct qualifiers. With still a little bit of work.
As third place, best placed.
Because they picked a draw, an inspiring draw.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. They will go because they're playing Ivory Coast. Same
trouble.
Type of football, same. And with their shambolic way of doing things, they were giving balls like for free.
For the Christmas.
Just for Algeria to take and to attack them. I was like, this team.
But the actual picture will come up after these second games are played. That's when you see the actual picture
will begin to form.
But the increase from 16 to 24 teams is what has given us this bad scenario. That's why teams are not playing.
Yeah.
And
so even as we talk about increasing teams to whichever numbers, even to the World Cup, for me, I've always been an ardent believer that look, we do not need more slots at the World Cup with what I'm seeing today. At AFCON. We don't need more slots. Which teams?
You mean for World Cup?
Yes, we don't need more slots.
They have already sanctioned
but we
9
have
teams.
5 out of 50.
It doesn't matter.
50 is it
It's
54,
not the number, it's the
54,
quality of football that
55
you put on
nations?
the day. The quality of football.
At least we should have
Nine slots
minimum 8
Yes.
to 10.
No, they've given 9.
Europe have got 13.
now.
We don't need
Yes,
teams
we've
to
got
numbers.
9.
It has already
8,
been
There's no
approved.
football there.
It's already approved. Yes,
Yes,
8
9.
plus, but it's 8 plus that one for a playoff.
Yeah,
Yes.
for a playoff.
Mukalafitamba mweka ine sakalafitambako. Because even the 5 that we send there, they don't
don't
give
do
us any
anything.
football. They do nothing. Everyone by round of 16 they're back home. So why are we sending more teams?
But they have few
let's send them.
representatives.
No,
Let's
it's not
send
about
them.
you. It's a quality, sir. It's a quality.
No,
Today
no,
you talk about Senegal on paper, they can beat any team in the world. What kind of football do they show us? Even the way they played against Zimbabwe. What kind of football?
But Charlie, what are your thoughts? Even the big teams are not coming out with their big swords. It's only Nigeria who played with intent.
Exactly.
They came on the pitch and they showed Egypt that us we are not small boys.
Yeah. Many people have been asking about, more especially the European-based players, that why are they fading? Mahrez had a very good game for Algeria. He played very well, but the other players are fading. Maybe because of the combinations in terms of players. In Europe, they blossom, play exceptionally well. But on this stage, we have not seen much. Mane tried a little bit. Sadio Mane tried. Mahrez played well. But there are other players.
Mane had problems.
Salah was a shadow.
Salah is going to start appreciating.
Berahimi
Because
had
they
a
know-
poor game for
Brahimi.
Algeria. Ibrahimi. He had a poor game for
Islam
Algeria.
Slimani.
Slimani,
Listen,
poor game.
Feguli.
I have an answer for that.
Yes.
You see,
Bring it on
in
board.
Europe, they don't look at individual brilliance. They emphasize on teamwork.
Teamwork.
You are given specific instructions and positions where you're going to operate.
Attack as
You
a
go
team.
against that.
Defend as a
Sometimes
team.
you're even given a perimeter. You don't have to go beyond there, and you are given instructions on what to do. Now, when they come to play in Africa, they are given free roll, because here we rely on individual. Salah, we will do. So anyone who has a ball takes it to
Salah just tells the youngster, just put the ball here on my feet. Put the ball. It's not according to the coach instructions.
That's why you find that's why you find the Salah is ill positioned in Africa. He doesn't know who is going to give him the ball, and he's not strong enough, to, because they will just give him 3 boys. If he gets the ball, put him down.
I agree with you.
Yes.
Because if I have to count,
those who are arguing,
Salah had maybe 1 serious chance.
Only one.
Mane had 1 serious
Only
chance.
one also.
Only one each. But okay, I mean, to be fair,
But you see, in
Nigeria,
Europe,
if they wanted, they could have won 4-0.
But you see, in Europe, there will be 1 or 2 players instructed to be supplying balls to either Mane or Salah. Have you seen?
They have more options.
They have more options. So it will take time for them to understand that. But the team which played both using system and individual play, proper mix, was Nigeria.
Yeah.
They showed it. They played as a team.
Moses Simon was on
You're
fire.
supposed to score a goal, then he does all the traffic.
Yeah.
Iheanacho is not even
Iheanacho, yes.
He was not even marking. He was
Very
busy
wasteful.
losing the balls.
Very wasteful.
And I was like, why are they not taking
And
off?
Nigeria don't even have their best team on display.
No.
Osimhen, I think, is probably the best
The
number
best
9
striker.
in
Best
Africa.
striker.
For
For
and
Napoli,
he's not there for Napoli.
For Napoli.
And
Brilliant
then,
Why is he
player.
not injury?
Injury. Yeah. And
Then they've also got another player. I think he plays in the EPA or what's his name?
same
Okay,
with
Dennis.
Igalo is also
Dennis.
missing.
There's
Igalo
Dennis
is not
for-
there also.
I mean, Etebo.
There's Dennis for Watford also.
Yes.
Dennis for Watford.
Yeah.
Them they just said we will not release him. They are fighting relegation.
Yeah, because,
Watford.
but then even the captain plays for Watford. Ekong, is it Ekong? He plays for
Yes,
Watford.
he plays for Watford.
So how come they released one player and the other one they withheld?
No, for Dennis they just said we are not releasing him. And they just gave a reason that their federation was late to get permission for him. Then they said you're already late.
Remember what they used to tell us in the late 80s and early 90s? That, this is injured. He's not coming to play for
Charles
Zambia.
Musonda.
He's injured. They used to play us. Before FIFA came.
And I told Jordan on Sunday where at KPF, I told him that's my team. I've always had the soft spot. I've supported Nigeria for a long time, probably 90s, somewhere there about. Their team, I've always loved them. Of course, they have disappointed me a number of times, but I think this time around, they seem to be so strong.
Super Eagles.
Now they are the Super Eagles. And this is the difference Egoven has brought is that you score a goal, you don't sit back. You keep attacking. You keep creating chances, which what they did yesterday. And it's a team that if they are leading you and they're creating chances, you're on your back foot. You will not play.
Musa will claim
I think Egypt
permanent number
them,
in that position. I mean, in that team.
Yeah, Egypt expected them to be compact, but they decided not to be more open, and it worked out for them.
And then even the tempo, Nigeria just had a slightly higher tempo than the Egyptians. Because Arabs usually have a high tempo, but the moment you just supersede them in tempo, you have beaten them.
Yeah. Because I was surprised. Is this Egypt who's being counter-attacked like this?
Imagine.
Because they kept coming like bees, Nigeria. I was even saying, thank God it's not Zambia playing Nigeria today. With Venakabaso Chongo.
Yeah. Chasing shadows.
Would have been chasing shadows. Gentlemen, thank you for coming. We'll end here. Time to leave. And we'll watch more AFCON and report back next week. Bola
Nizigoli.
Bola
Ibaba.
Thank you.
Thank you.